She is. I love her so much.
talking to her cat. So I didn't get a chance to warn you guys. Hey, we're live now.
Hey, everybody.
But whatever. I'm the disaster GM. It works for us. But hi, welcome to Alter Deco Archives with the latest episode of Empyrean Rising, a Cypher system-based TTRPG. I am Evie, the disaster DM or disaster GM. My pronouns are she, they, any. I really don't give a shit what you call me. With me today are my beautiful, wonderful regular players. Let's go ahead and start with Extel, since apparently my Windows got messed up. So introduce yourself while I fix that.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hello everyone. My name is Extel, as previously mentioned. I'm gonna be playing pronouns he him. I'm gonna be playing Jax, the chaotic warrior ninja weapons, and also Rise of Lightning. His pronouns are also he him.
Okay. And then of course Alina.
Hey everybody, I am Alina Pete, they, them, and I am playing our neurotic tea shop owner, Kale, who is they, them. They are a empathic explorer who helps their friends and is stressed right out right now. So this will be very, very fun. I cannot wait.
Yes. It will be absolutely fabulous. And then last but certainly not least, Maggie.
Hi, that's me. My name is Maggie. I use they and she pronouns, and I'm playing Sybil, who uses she, her pronouns. And Sybil is an overeager adept who would rather be reading. Aww. She's having a real bad time.
Our precious little cinnamon roll.
She's having a bad time.
She's having a time. It's gonna be a time for a while, but
excellent.
Oh no.
Excellent.
Everything is gonna be a-okay.
It's fine. Promise. It's fine. Right. We're all fine.
I'm supposed to reassure you. It's gonna be fine. No, nothing to worry about.
That's very threatening. Thank you.
You are not currently residing in a suite with a council member that was inspired by the bitchy blonde from Atlantis. No, not at all.
Good. Oh yes. Oh yes.
This tracks.
I'm never seeing her as anything else now.
Yeah, that is how you should be picturing her.
Yes. Good.
That is how you should be picturing her. She is tall, she is strong, she is badass. She's just
going to kill
slightly
us.
a bitch.
Wow, the character designs in that show.
Yeah, she is
Jax
just slightly
feeling a little flustered.
but it's fabulous. It's fabulous.
It's gonna be a great time.
Of course I'll die.
Yes. So far we have had no character deaths that we know of.
So far.
That we know of.
What do you mean?
What?
Has one of us already died?
You might be a ghost.
I mean, we have someone that kind of does the Danny Phantom going ghost thing on a fairly regular basis. So
yeah, but I'm not dead, probably.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that you're not dead, but I'm not going to say that you are dead.
Yeah.
Fair.
Anyway, sorry, we're having a good time tonight already. Not a lot of announcements on the docket for Alter Deco Archives. We have taken a look, or are in the process of taking a look, at the shiny new Twitch regulations. As you may notice, the change to what had previously been our ad reel. So there may be changes or adjustments coming forward regarding that, but we will keep communication up and let people know. The only real alternative that we have to Twitch, if we decide to just leave streaming here, is going to be YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe there as a just in case. There will be at least one live stream and VOD announcement from the leadership team of Alter Deco Archives if that change becomes necessary. But with all of that out of the way, let's go ahead and roll into tonight's session. I do not actually have the content warning pulled up on my computer screen, so I'm just going to drop that right into chat. ER. There you go. That's good. We go over our lines and veils with each other. We use safety tools. Anyone can X card. They can also do a force drop if necessary, if they become uncomfortable, and I do not have the wherewithal to notice, which I hope never happens, but nevertheless, that is one of our established boundaries. But we will instead move into the recap. As magic has been waking up and permeating the existence within the city-state of Icenbridge and the world over, our illustrious heroes have gone on to discover the various purposes and information in and around that, including a massive overgrown tree, diving into a rock fall and fighting a giant river snake monster thing with which Jax proved his prowess at fighting. They met the magical illusory imprint of the last High Mage of Icenbridge, the Primary, who they discovered, at least theoretically, is related to one of their own. In the process of all of that drama, they did at least lose contact with one of their friends, Kinder, who was dismissed from the illusory Primary's presence due to some unknown feud that has not been explained to the group whatsoever. Upon magic potion roulette and not getting a lot of information beyond a couple of recipes and the fact that there's no stopping this train now that it's on the tracks, they have escaped the underground and made the decision to attempt to inform the city council, a group of 7 potentially corrupt individuals that are in charge of running the entire city-state. One of whom is like an adoptive uncle to Sybil. Counselor Harper, they met briefly with the intention of being introduced to the counselor in charge of safety and regulations, mediation, thinking that that particular counselor would be the most welcoming and useful to the potential danger that magic presents to the city and world at large. Counselor Harper Michelli was a little less than cooperative, but at least he did get them their meeting. Last time we did have a wonderful guest, Lev, who played the assistant to this other counselor, Sabar, with whom they are currently spending the night, as Sabar got completely wasted at the previous dinner after insulting Harper Michelli multiple times in increasingly amusing fashion. But with the intent to make no agreements and no deals while she is inebriated, she instructed the group to stay the night, and she would deal with them in the morning and their request, after also insisting that her assistant quite literally put her to bed. Over the course of the evening, the assistant has snuck out to their own home or residence, wherever that may be, primarily because they didn't want to deal with the counselor in the morning. As the sun crests over the horizon, would you say you guys pulled an all-nighter or also passed out?
I seem to recall Kale fell asleep early, but there was a bit of a sleepover going on around them.
I imagine Jack stayed up pretty late and he went to bed. Yeah, he went to. He's probably still asleep right now.
Okay. Sybil?
You and Seldai stayed up late talking about magic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I seem to remember that you guys stayed up late, and the last that I remember was that Sybil was complaining about not being able to sleep. So probably got to bed very late, but is kind of that wet blanket at a sleepover that was like, you guys, I have soccer practice in the morning.
Good.
Fair.
We should go to bed.
She's probably also still asleep by this point.
Okay. Would you say that it's been a fairly stressful week for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay.
So in that case, for those of you who have had stressful weeks, I would like to incur an intellect task from you. In particular, an intellect defense task.
Oh, I'm not good at those. And I rolled a 2. So
can I ask what I use for intellect defense tasks again?
It's
been a while.
It's still your intellect stat. So if you wanted to place effort or edge, etc., then that applies to it.
Does the edge automatically?
Well, that's applying to effort.
Oh.
So if you are applying effort, then edge reduces the effort. If you have a special ability or whatever other source that would ease a defense task over a regular task, then that is why it is specified as intellect defense.
Love that.
So what'd you get?
14.
14. So quite shockingly, the one who has the interesting stuff happen when they sleeps like a fucking baby. So does
Hell
Dex.
yeah.
Hale, you have, I wouldn't call it a nightmare. I wouldn't really even call it a dream. You have more of a sensation. There's no visual to it. It's just the feeling of being trapped. Not even in a room, not in a cave-in, in your own skin. It feels tight. It feels confining. It feels like you're trying to move and trying to reach for something, but everything is just so tight and so confining about your body that you are frozen in place. You cannot see, you cannot hear, you cannot smell, you can only feel that tightness and hear your thoughts.
That is a great thing for our claustrophobic baby to
Yes.
experience. So,
Yeah, it is. It's wonderful.
Good. Good. I'm having a great time. It's great.
Yeah. And I would like to ask if you think that, oh, I don't know, might trigger anything for your character.
Ooh. They've certainly had a stressful week.
Yes.
We'll see. I have a feeling things are about to get a lot more stressful.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, yeah, if anything, they're probably flopping around like, that like uncomfortable sleep sort of thing.
Okay.
Maybe that is enough to pull their gloves off.
Okay.
They went to sleep like in
Fully
a chair,
dressed, yeah. Oh yeah.
fully dressed, with their whatever they had for a blanket over them, but they've been flopping around.
So with that, with your disturbed sleep, and you admitting that it does definitely move you, both mentally and physically, I am going to offer you a GM intrusion of partial transformation.
Oh, good. Excellent. Good. I will. Oh, that's going to make our morning real fun.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, let's go for it. I like this.
Okay, so who gets the other experience point?
I think Maggie is still one behind. So toss that
Okay.
to Sybil.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
And then I think we're all equal now.
Mhm.
Did Jax catch up?
I got an experience point from someone that
Okay.
allowed me to get my second advancement, and I have one more now.
Okay,
From someone
cool.
else that I found.
All right, awesome. So, yes, so while you sleep, Maggie or Sybil, the sleep of the pampered, finally on comfortable furniture again, and Jax with the innocent lack of care that Jax has for anything that might threaten him because he can defeat it. Kale tosses and turns on the chair, and the gloves do slip off because they are flexing and messing with various parts of their body, just reaching and scratching, and the gloves slip off. And then gradually there's a creak and a groan as your body slightly elongates. Your hair doesn't necessarily shed, but twists and turns and transforms into long feather-like fronds, sort of like a fern or something. You don't wake up from it, and it doesn't necessarily cause a lot of noise to wake others. At least until the very hungover counselor does eventually walk right into the room,
Oh,
awake
good.
before all of you, and starts cussing really loudly and throws something directly at your head. I would like
Cool.
a speed defense task
Yep.
that is currently hindered. So
Yeah,
that is
I'm asleep.
so that is a 6 right now. So 18 or better.
I am definitely
You are
taking a
asleep.
lamp to the head.
Yeah, you are
Yeah, that's
asleep.
a 2.
more
So I
Okay.
am
Oh,
very
yeah.
that's 2 twos in a row. It's good night
You
already.
need a different die. You need a different dice.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I'm gonna
so
put that over there for a second.
she was in the middle of making herself something to drink. So you get a half full cup of hot water
Oh,
and mushroom powder, right to your face, taking
okay.
1 point of might damage.
Good. Excellent.
And that is loud
Uh,
enough to wake everyone up, including yourself, obviously.
So Kale is having a dream where they are trapped, and that is one of their anxiety triggers.
Yes, it is.
And they're thrashing around, trying to escape whatever they're trapped in. And then they get winged in the side of the head by a mug, and they will rear up to try and face their attacker, not realizing that they are now taller than they were before. Kind of do this half almost a roar, and then trip over their own feet and just full on just face plant.
So as Kale is doing this, the startled counselor in charge of safety and mediation, the one
Very
that is
cool.
most likely to be a badass fighter, has now drawn a weapon. And this is what the two of you wake up to, the sound of a mug hitting someone, water splashing, a partial roar, and just extensive streams of cussing.
What is happening? What is happening?
And Kale is now crouched in the middle of the floor, kind of like an angry cat or a startled cat. Their back is longer than normal, and it's hunched up, and they're staring over at Sabar, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on.
I feel hearing a weapon being drawn or seeing a weapon being drawn.
Jax
your
has
alarm
been
clock.
activated.
Jax
raise.
Jax inhumanly fast moves over to where Kale is and is like kind of crouched on like one, kind of crouched low, not on his knees, but his hand is placed on the ground, like it next to or in front of Kale if possible, and he's looking at Sabar.
Okay. She is like, you can see the bags under her eyes. You can see that
She's
she has not combed her hair or anything yet. She is just
Understandable.
standing there, half awake, hungover, in the light from the glaringly wide open, like, windows, with a very, very thin longsword, like full on rapier style longsword, just pointed really steadily at you guys. The fuck is that?
What the fuck is going on?
I think we should maybe all just kind of take a breath here, please. Sibar? Sybil has not, I think, clocked Kale even a little bit. I think she woke up and saw Sabar holding a weapon, and Jax like lunged over and is just like, "Oh, we should calm down, please."
Yeah. Kale is
and,
still like
turns
wild-eyed and panting, but like staring at Sabar, like, what the fuck is happening?
Sybil like turns around and clocks Kale, and it's just like, "Holy shit! What is?" Oh, okay.
Did Kale drink another one of those potions?
Kales, are you feeling okay?
They're like shoulders are up and they're quivering, and then they glance down at their claws and their arms and just shit.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And then they'll like hunch back and try to like kind of curl in on themselves. I'm going to need a moment and like very deliberately do some deep breathing exercises.
Sybil just like walks over and like very gently like puts a hand on like this sword, and it's just like, we're gonna put that down and away, and maybe let's go get some coffee, maybe. How about trying to like get Sabar out of the room?
So I would like a social interactions roll.
Yeah, I'm good at this.
Difficulty of 5, because this is a very tense situation and she is very hungover. So 15 or better. 7. So she actually like expertly dips the sword away from where you can even touch it. So you go to push it down and it just kind of swerves over your hand and goes back to the en garde position. When she looks at you, looks at Jax defending what she is only just now realizing is Kale. Then lets out an absolutely jaw-cracking yawn before, sword still in hand, just walks back into the open kitchen area and starts making herself another cup. Without looking at you, Kale points with the sword in your direction. Don't damage anything. I saw the claws. Don't damage anything.
Do you guys want coffee?
No intention of damaging anything. And I'll sit back on my haunches, I suppose, and continue deep breathing exercises.
Okay. You have the ability to attempt an intellect task to revert.
I am putting some effort on this.
Yeah. So because this has happened before and you remember the feeling of the transformation back from when you had that potion that Kale believed was expired, but we both know is not. I will say
no, it was a potion of transformation. Clearly, that was the whole thing. It turns you into a scary monster.
Yeah. It is a difficulty class of 4, so
all right.
12 or better.
I put some effort
then
on
you've
it,
got
so that's a
effort.
3.
Yeah. So 9 or better.
Yep. All right. I did a 13.
All right, that's good. You're good. So like it takes that moment of meditation and like breathing, and then Jax, you are able to witness the strange way that their face literally shrinks back into a more humanoid look with a slight green tinge of scale right here at the temple that never quite goes away. Yeah. It blends in with the hair really well. But you do notice just watching it happen and the scales receding into their skin. Their hair doesn't splay out like fronds and leaves as much, but still seems to have a slightly different texture than it had before as they shrink back into the rags of their previous outfit.
Right.
Oh,
Jax will he was watching Sadar until she disappeared like into the kitchen. And then turns around to Kale and like moves closer and like gets on like a knee and is like, "Are you all right?"
They've
Okay.
like they're like crunched around themselves with their knees up and they're holding themselves and then really, really deliberately, slowly breathing in and out. And when you speak, they will slowly open their eyes, which are probably still a little greener than normal, and look you dead in the eye for a few heartbeats and then say, "It wasn't the potion, was it?"
I mean, unless you drink it, in your sleep, then probably not.
Shit.
He'll look at you and he'll go, "Hey, we're here. Yeah, you're good."
I need to get out. I need to get out of here. No, you're right. And they'll actually grab for your hand. And their hands are really shaking and cold, and they're had the shock of their life. They just need something to hold on to for a moment.
He will let you hold his hand for as long as you need to.
No. They'll
Uh,
look at you, look at how steady you are, but then close their eyes and continue breathing as they're like spending that effort to fight down the thoughts that are racing through their head.
Okay. So Sybil, what would you say that you're doing? Are you assisting with coffee or are you assisting your friend?
I think she was in kind of like the door frame between the two of them, sees this whole thing play out and is like, so tea instead of coffee, got it. And is like off to go see what Sabar has in terms of tea.
It's very open concept. That's why I said it's like that open kitchen area.
I think
Sabar can theoretically see what you guys are doing, and you can see that Sabar just has her back to all of you and is just heating water for
she needs a cup of coffee before she's gonna deal with this shit today.
So Sybil, you can see everything that Sabar is doing and where she gets the things that she needs. So you would be able to easily find things, essentially.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely not at all uncomfortable going into the pantry of this woman who has pulled a weapon on us.
And still holding it.
I'm definitely giving Kale and Jax like some space. This is like a very nice moment, and she's just like, I am not going to get involved in this. I'm going to go and like get some tea, and like comes up behind Sabar and is like, can I just where are your mugs?
She points with the sword at one of the cabinets.
Great.
I love that this woman is in her underwear with a sword.
You so much.
Oh yeah, she's like full on in her like undies wraps, like the breast chest bindings and whatnot. She full on did not care that she was. Yeah.
So it was like pointedly not looking at her. It's just like, do you think that maybe you could put the sword away? Please?
No, consider it my comfort blanket.
Would you prefer maybe a blanket instead?
Her eyes creak open just a little bit more and she raises an eyebrow at you.
I mean, blankets are just really nice.
The discomfort
Soft.
of others with my nudity is a wonderful bargaining chip.
No, Sybil goes and just like gets a mug and is just like starting to like grabs a tea at random and is like not even looking and is like, yeah, this is how you make tea. I've done this before.
And her point stands.
She's just like, I meant more for like a blanket's better than a sword. Like a sword's really,
Yeah.
But you know what? You do whatever. I'm gonna just be here.
Yeah.
Back in the other room, I
Yes.
think Kale is probably not conscious of it, but they are crying out for help silently, and I don't know if that's something Pico would pick up on.
Probably. Pico is now in your control, so
Yeah,
that
okay.
is entirely up to you as the player.
Cool. So while Kale is deep breathing and holding Jax's hand like it is the only lifeline they have to sanity, they will feel a little nudge on their side, and then something will come and curl up on their lap. Something very familiar and comforting, but also terrifying.
So Jax, your friend, now has their little copper dragon in their lap.
Oh, hey. He looks happy to see Pico.
Yeah. Which does at least remind you, Jax, that Scott was with you when you guys went to sleep last night.
Yeah.
Oh,
Looking
gosh.
around, you see Scott like perched on top of one of the cabinets, just out of sight of Sabar, ready to launch himself at her if it gets to a
Aw.
fight. Like you can tell that like
Oh,
he
we
is
love
in
Scott.
position, ready just in case.
This rat is ride or die.
Yeah,
At
he
first,
was gonna
Jax is like,
bite the
"Wait,
shit out of
no."
her hand. Yeah, he was gonna bite the shit out of her hand to get her to let go of that sword if necessary.
At
Oh my
first,
God.
Jax sees Scott and he's like, "Wait, no," and then he's like, "You know what? No, stay up there."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you've got little copper dragon in the panicky tea shop person's lap. And Sybil, you are very easily able to find a variety of teas and mugs and pretty much whatever it is that you need to make for yourself. Shockingly, very little food.
That tracks.
Yeah.
Sybil comes over holding 3 mugs and notices the dragon and is like, "Oh, I brought tea. I think the boxes were unclear. Do you need it, or are they
Crack open an eye and just gesture for the teacup.
okay? Yeah, here you go.
And then look down at Pico, who I was aware was there, but did not want to acknowledge up until now. And then give him just a little tentative pat.
So this is a thing that we're doing now. They're just awake again.
I don't quite know how that works, and I'm not going to think particularly hard about it until I've had some tea. And they'll take a sip and then make like a face, because I'm sure Sabar's tea is not good.
Sabar's tea is not good, and also Sybil is very used to ordering tea and not making tea herself, so she definitely just like poured a bunch of leaves in and like poured a bunch of water on, and there is no like strainer or anything, so you just got like a mouthful of leaves.
Sabar is a mushroom kav person. So while she does have tea, it is the extra strong, extra bitter shit that's just slightly stale from not being drank.
I feel like
force some tea down because it's at least it's tea. It's calming.
I feel like Jax took a cup before Sybil realized he took a cup, and he is now just handing it back to you, and it's empty. And he's like, "It's all right."
Oh, do you want mine? I've got. Well,
Do
there's
not
more.
want-
Is it good? I kind of was just making. I don't
I mean,
really
I don't
know
know.
how you're supposed to.
It will do. Thank you. It's very kind.
Great. Are you feeling better? You look a little better.
I love the crunchy
You're-
bits, honestly.
It's tea. It's not supposed to be crunchy, but thank you.
I'm very not fine, but I will be all right.
Okay. Okay.
You want to talk about it?
Not just yet.
That's
I
fair.
also-
That's really cool. Thanks. Good.
It smells like she is doing an atrocity to that cove in the kitchen.
When she comes back out with a giant steaming mug, just uses the sword like she's gesturing with it now. I know you don't want to talk about it, but I would love to hear about why I woke up to that in my home.
Okay, not of that. Not of that. That's pretty rude, actually.
I woke up to a creature in my room. I am
Mm.
not calling the former creature a that. I am referring to the situation. Now, start again.
Mhm.
And then like a conductor with the sword. Start again and go. Takes a big drink.
So we'll just look
Kelly
over at Kale.
wrinkles their nose as the Ooh. You really take it that way.
I take it whatever way wakes me up.
It's fair. Yeah.
Can I use your kitchen?
If you don't mind what's left of your garments falling off of you, I certainly won't.
Grab like a blanket or something and make a toga and then go off into the other room and almost in like a Zen meditative sort of way, like find the ingredients, which I think are probably still out. I don't think she's cleaning up this early in the morning.
Yeah.
And proceed to make an actual proper pot of cave.
Yeah.
Like the good stuff. Not as good as they would make at their tea shop because they don't have all the right ingredients, but probably better than Savar often has. And it seems to calm them, like the repetition, it's a
Okay.
familiar task in a morning that has been fucking terrifying.
Okay.
And they will bring out 4 mugs of decent quality cave.
Okay. So in the process of all of that, she has kind of splayed herself back in one of her more comfortable chairs, like a giant mug of the slightly chewy, hasn't been mixed properly cave in one hand, and then she just kind of rests the super long rapier across her lap as she crosses her legs and points at you, Jax. You seem like the type that I am used to speaking with. The kind that, prefer to think as much with their body as with their mind. Please
It's fair. Yeah.
explain as to why I woke up to what appeared to be a monster residing within my home.
There's a cough from the room. I was over like,
Jax looks at Sybil and goes, "Do you mind if I?" No.
Go.
Simple fact is that because magic is coming back, right? We talked about this last night.
Right.
So like, magic,
Yes, I'm fully
That's the only
aware.
reason.
Apparently, there's not going to be any speaking around the subject, which honestly is better for my hangover. Yes.
Do you
Not want to beat around the bush.
do you remember much of the conversation last night?
Oh, I remember everything, love.
Great. Okay.
Where did my cute little assistant wander off to?
I think
They
they
went home.
left pretty quick after you went to bed.
Oh. Disappointing, but I'll make sure to have them sign the appropriate forms later. Yes, so you have someone that you want released, I believe, and are decrying the council's insistence that we keep all of this quiet.
Seems to be the situation. Yes.
You will allow me, and I will sweep in with the tray of mugs and set them down
Oh,
in their
thank you.
place. I apologize for the scare that you were treated to this morning, but I assure you I have not done that before on my own. I, up until now, had been working under the assumption that our journey into the depths had left me less affected than one might think, but apparently that was not the case.
Yes.
Very true.
Now, so this shape that you were in when I walked out was the affected.
I'm still trying to understand that myself. I don't
Yes.
quite know what happened. But we have heard that others who have ventured down into the depths have been changed by their experiences, as is the gentleman who is under your lock and key currently, who is no more monster than I am.
It's quite irritating. We aren't. Our infrastructure isn't built for holding people for lengths of time. They're either punished or they are not held. It's simply not the way that our system works with mediation. This entire concept, we haven't used these cells for centuries, which means that it's even more of a pain in the ass for me. So convince me why I should allow the three of you to do whatever it is that you're asking, instead of any of you, including the prisoner, meeting an accident.
Is that a threat?
It's a motivate me to have to expend less effort.
The simple fact is that that person isn't guilty of anything besides just being alive in a time where magic is waking up again, just like anybody else. I mean, all around the world, people are going to experience similar things. I'm not even from here, right? Like I've only been here like a week, not even that long. How long have I been here? But like the point is,
Mediation has not yet occurred simply because he is incapable of speech at the moment, but
And what
he
have you
is
done to fix that? Are you trying to? Why is he incapable of speech?
I don't honestly know. He just coughs rocks right now, so I don't know of any healer that knows how to heal a living statue.
Has he been
Therefore,
seen?
the same way that anyone that is being held by the council might be seen.
How many
But if
people
so,
are you holding right now?
one.
Just
That's
But
going to, you're going to have to lock up everyone
as I was
eventually.
saying, The reason why he was being held is because he would be found guilty, if mediation were to occur, of
what?
3 mortal injuries, destruction of property, and disturbance.
Who?
Did you not hear
Brendan.
about those who had been injured when he decided to break out in the middle of a square?
I mean, no one until this actual moment, because last night we were asking about it, but then, everybody was like, oh, this person doesn't exist. So like, this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Yes.
But I mean, like, wouldn't you also freak out though? Like if if you just
You
turned into
did
stone
freak
out of
out.
nowhere?
You tried to.
I
You
did
saw
not.
our friend.
If I had tried to stab your friend would be stabbed.
That's not true.
It is terrifying. If his situation is anything like mine, I can see blind panic driving something like that. And I think
Certainly if he
we're
can't
all very lucky that Jax was here to stop anything from happening.
So are you saying that you are a danger to the public if this happens to you again?
What I'm saying is that there is no way of stopping these changes from coming to anyone anywhere within this city and perhaps within the world at large. And if you start locking up everyone who go into this blind, ignorant of what could happen, what is happening, then you'll have to lock up the whole city.
Make
In the next
a
one over, too.
persuasive intellect roll.
Hell yes, I am going to use. I am trained at
Yes, you
this
are.
sort of thing,
So it
and I'm going to
is
put some effort on this.
Yeah, it was a 5. So trained brings it down to a 4. Effort
4.
brings it down to a 3.
18.
18. So you get not necessarily a minor effect, but you rolled really well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I am sincere. I am so sincere.
You are very sincere. You can see her kind of scoff at the whole emotive concept of it. But she looks at where her assistant, your friend, had sat the previous night. And just kind of sighs. You're lucky. You're lucky that you caught me when you did. Just kind of sets the sword down on the ground, takes a sip, looks very surprised at how good the cob is. Looks very surprised. I'll have to have you teach them how to do this. I am fully incapable. Sets it down. You're lucky that you caught me when you did. There are outside motivations that further influence this.
I'm very sure there are.
However, my hands are tied by the council. Officially speaking. Unofficially speaking, they're all a bunch of dicks. An entire bag of dicks.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You're not wrong.
I am going to write a location as a note to myself. If someone else were to see the location written on this note, then there's very little that I can do. The council can't necessarily control that. In response, I would expect that no one at this location would be dead.
Oh, that's
doable.
That's a much bigger limit than I thought it was going to be. I thought you were going to say not to punch anybody. We cannot guarantee that.
If they can't take a punch, then they honestly shouldn't be working there.
You
But,
say
I knew
that,
I liked
but
you.
but as I said, I would expect that if this note were to be seen, that those there would not fall to mortal circumstances, and that at some point you would acknowledge that you owe me a favor.
Oh, you a favor. It sounds like we will be making ourselves outlaws.
If you're caught,
what kind of favor?
I have a feeling that someone dear to me may need protection at some point. Just as you would theoretically would wish to disappear and protect this person that is officially not in custody. I would hope that you do the same.
Look at the other two. Give like a little nod, like I'm on board with that.
That's doable, I think.
I mean, yeah, sure. If someone needs help, I'm always there to help out. Yeah, I said that right.
If you do us a favor in return, and with your position on the council, simply remember that those who've been affected by magic are people and continue to remain people no matter what they look like. And that justice in the city has never meant locking up those who are innocent and merely frightened. And everyone is going to be frightened if they don't know what is happening.
Including you.
You'll find that the council mostly is concerned with the guilt of not having money.
Oh, I'm very aware of that fact.
However,
I'm not.
I shall endeavor to speak to the safety of those that I overlook.
They, like you, have taken an oath to protect the people of this city. But you, I think, understand that that means not just those lining their pockets.
I did hire them for a reason, yes.
Good.
Well, I have one thing to say on this before we move on to not seeing this said note that may or may not exist. If we do this right in the favor, all this stuff, right, and if I find, you can disregard my connection to these two when I say this, if I find out at any point in time and his eyes start to glow and he starts to get very like tense, like the like air around him becomes like very like sort of volatile.
Max.
If I find out that anyone in this city is treated harshly because of any magic they may awaken to, well, this city's color may change to red.
She smiles at you. Make a intellect-based roll for an
Okay.
attempted intimidation.
Great.
So it's only at a 5 because you are a strong, magically glowy boy.
I will put effort into it because I'm here.
Yeah. So that would be a 4, so 12 or better.
And that's a 2 one time. Hello.
All right. So she smiles at you, and it's not that you're not intimidating. This is also just a very tough woman that is also in a very high position of power that probably deals with tough guys on a fairly regular basis. But as she smiles at you, and just kind of nods in acknowledgement. You see her eyes glow as well.
Oh no! Oh no!
He smiles at that. All right, and then like it just the tenseness just suddenly goes away. He's like, all right, so should we get started or what?
Can I
I'm going to finish this
borrow
first.
some clothing?
Yes, there. And just kind of points back at her room.
I'll get up and see
Do you
myself
maybe-
up, like still
do you-
wrapped in a blanket.
Do you maybe want something also? No, you're good. You look cold. So
Let's just say that I don't get cold.
that's deeply alarming. Hey, while we are here, I do have a question. It would be, I'm not asking for a favor because we are kind of on a one-to-one deal with the thing that we're not doing. But if you wouldn't talk to my uncle about any of this,
Michelle's an ass. Of course I'm not going to speak to him.
I like to hear you say it, but you're not. I don't suppose that you interact with Michelle's advisors as well.
Your mother's?
Uh-huh.
No, I
I
do
don't know why I
not.
expected you to not know who I was, but yeah. Okay, great. Never mind. I'm gonna just stop talking now.
I
Drinks.
don't generally interact with them. You're a sweet child, but no, I do not generally interact with them.
I didn't figure you did. I just wanted to make sure and make if that could stay that way would be great. Actually,
Might I offer some advice?
I feel like you're going to kind of regardless, but okay.
If advice is not wanted, then I do not owe it to you, so I do not feel obligated.
I mean, I come from a long line of listeners.
Okay. You do not know my allegiance. You have acknowledged, particularly your friend, that I could be very dangerous to all of you. And I have admitted that my concerns and my motivations for assisting in any matter that may or may not happen has very little to do with my concern for your safety.
Great.
Asking if I interact or would mention this to those who you care for is a sign of showing me or showing someone else in such a position where you are weak and where you can be hurt.
I disagree.
You do not agree that if perhaps I were to find someone dead at the scene that does not exist, and as the other two do not have any ties that I know of, attempting to reach out to you or punish you in some fashion by reaching to your parents.
I think you
I am attempting simply to explain to you that you have, while it was already known, shown me where your concerns lie.
you overestimate my relationship.
I think
Thank
you
you for your
underestimate your
concern.
emotions.
She is just like making intense eye contact, and it is such an effort.
Yeah.
Like it is pointedly, she's trying so hard. She'd be like, which I would also like to point out that this is most likely a lie. And she
yeah.
is trying really hard to be like, I'm cool and
I don't care
Yeah.
about them.
I'm a cool adult.
Aw.
Thank you for your assistance in this matter.
I do not know if you believe me, but personally, and I believe that your muscled friend may understand and agree with this, I prefer a direct route, should anything come of things. So you haven't anything to worry from me. I wouldn't be making these conversations if you did. I am simply offering the suggestion that, especially in dealing with those who have some sway of power, you're cautious as to indicating who you do and do not want to know your involvement in things. College advice from a friend.
Yep.
And then she stands up, knocks back the rest of the cob, completely ignoring that it is still steaming hot and should sear her esophagus. Doesn't flinch, just sets it back down, and then kind of meets you in the doorway, Kale, as you're coming back
Pico
out.
had been actually listening in onto this conversation and will run toward, like, grab Kale's ascot and run ahead, but then realize that he's being followed by Savar and kind of stop and behind Kale too, like with their ascot still in his mouth. And Kale's gonna stop, like, having just put on pants that are far too long for them. I'm sure she's very tall and like a very long shirt. Pardon me. Is this all right? You won't miss these?
Not at all. Most of my clothing is all the same. But my state of undress is making at least one of your companions very nervous, and our conversation is past the attempting to get things out of each other state. So I will do the courtesy of dressing. Pardon me. Walks right past you.
Walk away.
Should we leave while they're? We should go while she's dressed.
Is
My
has the
ascot
note been
from
written
Pico.
down yet?
No.
We gotta not see this note first. You know what I mean?
This lady is really scary, guys.
Yes.
So it's just like
scarier, honestly.
This is about
understand.
what I expected from the council.
I mean, my interaction with the council has been my mom's and Michelle's. So like, I don't typically. I'm not generally allowed to talk to the other council members. And now I'm understanding why. This lady is so scary.
I like her.
That makes sense.
We may have found our most sympathetic council member, unfortunately.
She threatened to. I think she threatened to kill my parents.
No,
I don't actually know.
No.
I'm kind of
got
unclear.
No, because I'm there. Look.
We'll come up and like whisper some of that conversation into Kale's ear.
That's not what happened.
She said we're similar. I got you.
Look at Pico and be like, "Can I ask, what is your deal?"
To Pico?
Yes.
You can. I'm not going to answer.
Oh my god.
I don't remember the voice that I gave him.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pico sounds like Animal Crossing in my head.
How?
Oh, right. I gave him this kind of little voice. Okay.
Oh, God, he's just a little guy. He's just a little guy.
But yes, no, you can ask. I'm not really gonna answer. You're not ready for it yet.
How long have you been alive for? Like, listening
You
to
really don't
me.
want to know.
No, just today, I think.
Right? Good.
Today,
Do you have
And
something to do with what I saw?
I felt a surge of our connection.
we have a connection, do we?
Yes.
That's new, right?
Yeah, you're both dragons, right?
That's a
Call
word.
it new. You found me for a reason. And then like just a little paw comes up and like pats you on the cheek, and like the claws are still there, so it's like prick pad.
Okay, right. But you're not going to leave and go do whatever it is little copper things do.
I prepare water for tea.
Right.
Like professionally?
I don't think
Just-
I've ever been paid for it.
Fair. Just
Right.
There's a delayed like reaction from Jax, like, and he's just like, wait, and then he looks at Sybil and he's like, it was the past.
what was the past?
The thing.
The thing? The thing?
The thing.
What?
Okay,
What's
so-
the thing?
No,
Did we talk-
you don't want to know.
Did we
No.
tell them? Should
No,
we
no.
tell them?
No, I mean,
No.
Apparently,
I think-
everyone knows things about me, and no one is going to tell me.
oh, okay, look, I got it. Right, are you ready?
I don't
Right.
think you're ready.
Yeah, we didn't want to. I didn't want to tell you, like, because I saw this at the sauna, spa, bathhouse, whatever it was. I saw this I saw this, and like you were having a moment, so I didn't want to like spur that on you then because it might overwhelm you. But I mean, like,
I would say
how are
maybe
you
they're
feeling?
still having a moment.
Yeah,
I would agree, yes.
how are you, like, on a scale of 1 to 10? If you heard some like life altering stuff right now, like, how would you take that?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then
We
I'll
will
tell
talk
you.
about this. I want to know about this, but now is not the time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Fair.
It's pretty wild.
Jax, maybe just put a pin in that.
Something related, but they're not spoiler at all. Is I have premonitions sometimes, which is cool.
What?
Yeah.
Have you always?
No, I remember the first time it happened when we were fighting. He like looks around. Those things in that place. Yeah, that's the first time I saw myself like getting punched, and then I snapped back, and I wasn't getting punched, but then the same punch came towards me, and I was like, ooh, and I moved out of the way, and I changed it, and I succeeded. And what else can I do?
I desperately want to know what it is you have to tell me, but this looks like deliberately at Sabar's door. It's not the place or the time.
Yeah.
So, but we will talk.
I mean,
And
I'm
we
an
will
open
talk.
book, you know.
You don't have to.
Me, but yeah, it's like I don't want to throw your stuff out there. But yeah, like it's
not.
It's so cool, you know.
It's not.
It's really cool.
I think Sybil tries to like pick up her cup, and her hand just like phases fully.
Good.
It's just like,
Yeah,
okay,
you
great.
gotta
That's
think
the
real hard
day.
about it.
Got it.
You get it.
Mhm.
Is like anger or stress the trigger? Like, what's the thing for you there? Like,
You asking? Who are you
Yeah.
asking?
I'm asking you, you know, because you're Ann.
I don't
Seems to work
know.
very well.
I believe in you. I'll guess I'll stop talking now. I'm waiting for I'm ready to just you know,
So
go
yeah,
wild.
so Sabar was saying that we could unofficially go, but are we
We're
going
to-
as ourselves?
I don't know.
I
It sounds
gotta
like she's going to
convince-
tell us where he's being held and that she's given us the okay to break him out. But we're still going to break someone out of prison. Don't
are.
think we want to be us when we
No.
go there.
No, we can stop for masks somewhere. Oh God, I don't know where you buy things to break someone out of jail.
I would like to not wear someone else's clothing for a day as well. That would be nice.
Also true. You've gone through a lot of outfit changes.
At least I still have
Gee,
this.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
You're hulking out.
Green and everything.
Yeah.
My
I also need underwear.
I mean, why
Yeah, I
would-
was
why
not
would-
wearing hers.
Is there a reason to disguise? Oh, like it. Oh, yeah. You live here, huh?
We're from
Yes.
here.
Also, we need
Yeah.
to disguise you because you are very memorable.
And now you're from here.
Stop. I mean, am I really?
Sybil pointedly like cranes her neck to look up at Jax and just be like, yes. Yes, you are.
You just saying that. It's stop. Is it the muscles or what? Like
That's part of it for sure. The muscles,
I worked
the
really hard on
blue,
those.
the hair, the eyes, that's most of it actually.
Yeah. Cool.
Mm.
I'm just glad to know. Yeah.
How do
He's just sitting there with like a smile on his face from this point on.
Jax. We just told you that it's gonna be hard to make you not get noticed, and you're like sick.
No, I come as I am. I don't know, I am.
We will need
me.
gloves and masks and probably a cloak.
Right.
I think I know somewhere we can get those.
We should probably not. Well, we can buy them, I guess.
Can I request can I request cloak? Can it be like long black and have like red clouds on it?
Yeah, I'm sure we have time to
We'll see what we can
something.
find.
Yeah. If we're gonna, I want a mask that like I had this idea for a long time, like orange, right? And it's kind of swirly, and there's one eye hole. Yeah.
Where's the eye hole? Is it like a slit?
Over one of my eyes? Yeah. Just
so you would just have an eye patch over the other?
Yeah, because I've always wanted to try and have less depth perception when I'm fighting, because like I feel like
that's wise.
And I feel like it'd be a good challenge for me. I mean, like I'm telling you, like I notice something when it enters like my sphere. So like I feel like not being able to like perceive it visually and have to rely on my senses would be such a.
Do you think maybe the circumstance to test that is the one where if we get caught, we'll get thrown into like a shadow prison?
Oh, and they'll never let us out.
Never.
No.
Maybe me, but probably not.
Well,
you. Every
every time I fight, I test something new. You know what I mean? There's no.
Maybe we could try something else that doesn't impede your vision. Maybe you can just punch with your left hand instead of your right.
Get whatever we can. We will find something. And now we have to plan a prison break, which is not a thing I've done before. But I have some ideas.
Yeah. I'm here for it. I'm totally fine, with a disguise, I guess. I like people to know I'm punching them when I'm punching them.
I don't know how helpful I'm gonna be for this. I'm realizing that now.
The door just swings loudly open.
She's not like listening in on this.
Yeah, the door just kind of swings loudly open. How quiet have you guys been?
Probably not.
I've been trying to stay quiet. I've been trying to stay quiet.
Not at all.
Yeah, so one of you out of all three.
Yes.
But yeah, so like completely nonplussed, acting as if she did not hear a word of that. Sabar comes back out, and she's like holding a stack of papers you saw where she's got essentially an open file cabinet in her room that she keeps some of her like notebooks and such in, which we will determine later if you decided to attempt to rifle through them. But yeah, so she comes out, she's like fully dressed, fully made up, surprisingly quickly, has a couple of notes with her, completely ignores the fact that you guys are there, acting as if she doesn't see you. Walks past, picks up her sword, a piece of paper drops as she does so, and then she just walks out.
Okay, bye-bye.
We were never here.
I think this is it, y'all.
I think so. Just probably look at it.
Yeah.
What does it say?
None of us want to touch it. We're all just staring over it.
It's a crudely drawn map with just the note at the top of "Please don't be idiots."
Okay, now we have to take it.
Yes. Telling us not to be idiots.
so
Yeah.
mean.
that we would ever do something like that.
I'm like, oh, wait, I've always wanted this is gonna be kind of cool, right? You ready? Ready? And I'm gonna look to where Scott was, and I'm gonna do it.
Scott jumps down, comes over, and like picks up the piece of paper, and then just crawls up your body.
Aw.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't touch it. I know I said I didn't like spy stuff before, but it's still cool.
Yeah.
It's not my personal approach. You know what I mean?
Oh man.
So, Kale, as someone who has probably encountered rats more frequently than Sybil, and
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Jax, who has been out in the wilderness more frequently than either of them, go ahead and give me just a perception-based check on Scott.
Oh,
Yes.
fun.
My God, is it happening? Is the
Oh
Yeah.
no.
That is
That's a
10.
3.
Jax, you got a 10?
Yeah.
Okay. With that, he seems a little bigger. And there's a little tuft at the end of his tail now.
Oh. Oh my.
He's on your shoulder, so you'd be able to fairly easily pick him up and take a closer look. But
Yeah, I'm gonna like.
Kale is too distracted to notice anything about this rat.
yeah.
I have my
So,
own problems.
yeah, so Kale, you don't notice that it looks strange. It doesn't look like a common rat.
Who doesn't
as
look
much,
strange this morning?
Yeah, as much anymore, Jax. Like previously, it looked just like your normal large brown rat. Now, while Scott is still kind of a dark, dusty brown, the hind legs are just a little bit bigger, kind of for jumping almost. And the tail isn't quite as bald with a little tuft at the end. I mean, it's still very
Just a little
skinny,
guy now.
but
Just a little guy.
yeah, it just kind of squeaks up at you.
You've been eating more. Is that what's going on? You've been getting your protein in?
Are you talking?
Yeah.
You're talking to the rat.
I mean, like I may
He
not be able
seems
to
to
understand.
listen.
I may not be able to understand what he's saying, but I can totally understand
Just
his emotions. That's what it's all about.
okay.
Is Sapar gone?
Yeah, like walked out of the entire freaking home. Like she acted like you guys were not there and then left to work.
Yeah. Maybe should we sneak out or something?
Should we leave a note?
Probably.
Should we leave a note? That's adorable.
To which one?
Kale is like looking out the front door and making sure she's actually gone.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna like appear in the bedroom because they noted that file cabinet while they were changing, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Are we
And
snooping?
look out the door again. This is a terrible idea.
Wait.
But when else are we going to find out what the council is up to?
No, I think now is the time for me to try and see if I can phase through stuff. I could just look at it. That way we never it.
Be my guest.
Yeah.
Can I specifically like go over and like it's just like a file cabinet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Is it locked?
Yeah, that's a good thing to ask first before I try and shove my face through it.
It is indeed locked.
Yeah, there's no way to get into it for sure.
Great. Walks through walls is a thing that I can do. Can I just specifically like with my
Walks
face
through
just
file
try
cabinets.
puts my face through a file cabinet just to see if I can like sticking your head in a bowl of water.
Yeah. We're discovering all kinds of things about ourselves this morning.
So I have a 2 edge in intellect, and this costs 2 intelligence.
Which means that it costs you nothing.
It's free, and it's 1 inch per round.
Yeah. So it takes like
Yeah.
10 seconds. It's not like you just dart your hand through. You do kind of have to, like, you're slowly submerging your face in water.
This is
But Sybil
weird. This is weird.
very, very distinctly goes kind of translucent, and it is very obvious from the wall of windows that is this woman's home. And like kind of merges her face into the file cabinet because you guys can't tell that her face is just going through.
Oh, if there's drapes, I'm closing them. I'm just like, oh no.
Yeah. And it's fairly dark in there because it's the inside of a file cabinet and there's no light to provide you the ability to see.
It's too bad you don't have dark vision.
Yeah.
I can't have everything, okay?
You have the ability to where you can hold your breath for a really long period of time because remember, when you are phasing through shit, you can't breathe.
Good.
Oh my god. Okay, can I see anything in there? I don't probably not.
You can see like it's not like it's completely sealed. So there is like a crevice of light. You can't tell what anything is. You can tell that there are some leather-bound notebooks and stuff, but not like what it would say or how big they are. They're just kind of shadowy forms.
Right.
But
So
you can tell
Do you
where
see
the
a
lock
locking
is.
mechanism?
can I talk if I can't breathe?
You cannot talk if you can't breathe because talking
Can I
requires pushing wind
breath?
past or wind or breath past your vocal cords.
Can
Which part's
I
there?
hear anything?
Yes.
Like, can I hear
sound?
Okay,
Sound
great.
travels through physical objects as well as through air. So it's a little muffled and kind of sounds a little bit like the Charlie Brown adult. But you can make out what it is.
She's got like her head inside a file cabinet, and it's just like,
Oh, good. Can you unlock it from in there? This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. I say to like look at Jax and be like,
her face is like fully inside of this file cabinet, and she like pats around for the file cabinet and like starts trying to like phase her hand into the side of it.
Okay. So your hand can phase in just as slowly as your head did. To attempt to unlock it, in other words, to manipulate a physical object with your non-physical hand, will be a task.
Great.
So I would like a intellect task because it is controlling your power. So that is why it is intellect. And it is going to be, since it's the first time, a 5.
do we still have those banked nat 20s?
You do.
I'm pretty sure I used mine because I had it crossed out
yeah.
of my notes.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I used it for, but I think I used it.
I haven't used mine.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
that's
other
good.
two of you
Yeah.
have not. Yeah.
I still got mine.
Yeah.
I would like to reroll for 1 intelligence.
Yep.
That was a 4.
Yep.
Oh, look at some low rolls
okay, hold
tonight.
on. I'm doing great. I have to pick a different dice.
I believe in you.
And don't forget that you also have the intangible ciphers.
Oh yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
How
you
many
We get
get-
one reroll per day.
Yeah, per day.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Great. We also, I could just do a player intrusion if I really want to.
You could.
Ooh.
You could.
We're gonna,
It would
I'm gonna
expend,
see what I roll first.
Yeah, it would expend an experience point, but yeah.
That's a 1.
Oh no!
So that would be a GM intrusion if you don't reverse
boy.
that.
Yeah. This was a good plan, guys.
It's so good.
It
So good.
was.
Plan.
The GM intrusion will kind of get you what you want, but not in the way you want it.
Just break everything.
I'm taking the intrusion, I guess.
You're gonna,
We need
or
the
are you
XP.
doing? Well, no. Are you doing the player intrusion of a malfunctioning thing, or are you taking the natural one, which gives me a free GM intrusion? It does not give you XP.
I think it's funnier to take the natural one.
Okay. So as you are
Chaos.
aware, one of your quote unquote power flaws is essentially charge shatter,
Oh no.
because your phasing disrupts something in the physical world. So yes, I am going to say that you do get it open. But that's
Yep.
because in attempting to manipulate it, you manipulate it wrong, and you quite literally bust the lock. Like, little minor explosion that does nothing to you because you are phased, but the two of you can see just pop of like little tiny lock gears everywhere and a large crack
Well.
through the top of the cabinet.
Do you guys think she's
Well.
gonna notice?
Oh, yeah. It's
Most
fine
likely.
though.
Yeah.
Is there like a plate you can put on top?
We'll be
or something?
gone.
Okay. I mean, it's open. Do you want to look inside?
We might as well now. Kind of come
Yeah,
over
this
and
way.
really open it up.
I could have just like pulled it open and it would have been less
I know,
messy,
but we were
honestly.
trying to.
It's fine. It's fine. Everyone, we're not good at whatever this is yet.
Mm-mm.
And you're both getting better at this, like very much so. I
Oh.
think.
Mm.
I
Oh,
see.
I don't want to be better at this.
It is the
I mean,
first time that you went intangible on purpose, Sybil. So Jax is right.
There's an ice cream truck parked outside of my house.
We can't hear it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sybil's just like panicked, I think, looking around for like something to put on top of the file
I'm giving
cabinet.
you like a pat, and I'm like, don't worry about it. You did very well.
Can I leave a note? I feel bad.
We're
If you
technically
wish,
not supposed
say
to
it was an
be here.
accident. You didn't. We weren't trying to get into the file cabinet, but
I just wanted to see inside of it. I
Powers
wasn't going to take
happened.
any. Yeah, we didn't.
Well,
it was
it's
an
too late
accident.
now.
I,
Yeah. I'm like
okay.
already rifling through.
Okay.
It's open, you know.
So it's not a hanging. It's not a hanging file cabinet. It's not quite that advanced. But you do find a couple like bound folders, as well as a couple of loose pieces of paper. What looks like either a ledger or a journal of some kind, the leather-bound book that Sybil noticed when her head was halfway through the filing cabinet. But what specifically are you looking for, or are you just reading through everything?
Just kind of like what is like flipping stuff open, seeing if anything grabs my interest, putting it aside. Anything that mentions the council or
absolutely no meeting notes from the council. The leather-bound ledger-like book is just like a most recent copy of all of the regulations of the city.
Don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
Set that aside.
The folders seem to be loose scribbles and notes on mediations that Counselor Sabar has done herself. So these are fairly high-level mediations. So, like, drama gossip, but not necessarily like council stuff.
Yeah, and none mentioned magic, so I'm sure. Interesting. Set it aside.
And then at the very bottom is what looks to be something in code.
Ooh. Oh, what? Either of you know anything about this?
Not necessarily. but maybe. Does it? I feel like I would maybe have seen something like this before.
You will have
Maybe.
seen codes before, which
Have I seen any code that looks like this?
this specific code is not one that is publicly used for like official documents or anything. So it is not a code that you immediately recognize. You would, however, have your task eased to attempt to decipher it based off of your anthropological studies and the fact that you've seen similar codes, just not this one before.
Yeah,
Give it a go.
I mean, I
It
can't.
will take
How
you a
long?
while. It will take you a while to decipher it, though. You would have to take it with you. Or just spend the rest of the day there and hope that she doesn't come home.
How long would it
So-
take to copy it down?
Intellect task. Like
right.
based off of your intellect task will determine the time.
Let's try that. Kale's gonna go and get their notebook. It's got
Okay.
the potion stuff down inside it.
Okay.
So all of my notebooks, yeah.
Yeah. So
Give me just a moment here.
who's making the attempt?
How about Sybil? You're very smart.
Yeah, sure. We're trying a different dice.
Yeah.
Trying
I
a
can
different
aid. I'm
dice.
aiding, and I will give you advice from a friend
Okay.
as I look over your shoulder while you're doing this, so you get trained in it.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. 17.
17.
Ooh.
So with the aid, I'll say that you are able to scribble it down fairly easily. It's not special symbols or anything. It's still within the same lexicon that is used for writing. So we'll say that you're able to scribble it down in like there's a decent number of pages in it, so maybe 30 minutes.
I'm
Right.
keep an eye out the window, like check through the blinds. Nobody's coming. Okay, we're still good.
Yeah.
I think Sybil just kind of goes into a fugue state of like, oh God, like note taking, like just like, okay, yeah, no, this makes sense. We like it starts to vaguely she starts to understand the pattern of it by the end of it. Does not know what it says, but is like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you'll have to like do the whole cryptography thing to translate it. But you're starting to see the pattern.
So
you do see that the pattern is relevant to the ledger of all of the rules and regulations of the city. Because why keep that locked up?
Yeah.
Except for maybe as a code breaking source. And anyway.
Maybe.
Exactly.
I'm going to use the 30 minutes that Sybil is copying down to like continue going through the rest of the files in more depth, but like it sounds like there's nothing particularly interesting in them.
She had to recently mediate a dispute between one of the council members and someone from about mid-level regarding the theoretic theft of a formula by the council member.
Interesting. Oh.
Which the council member was found to be the winner in the mediation.
Which council member was it? Or does it mention?
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, which one
I
was
have
it?
a list of which ones are corrupt and which ones aren't.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's important news.
It was Jack's plot twist.
So I'm
Jack's.
sure that this is Oliver, stop it. Gross dog.
Yeah, Oliver.
I am sure that this is going to come as absolutely no surprise to you, but Brendan Kalir-Nalsk.
Of course.
So wait, but then she
Nell
was
stole
mediating on
someone's
behalf
formula.
of she was mediating on behalf of Brendan, or
She so in the city, instead of them having like judges and arrests and prison, They
Mhm.
have a mediation system. They have a
So there's
mediation system.
there's not like a
So
for and against.
yes. So it's
Yeah.
basically someone is supposed to be an impartial mediator, hearing both sides when it either has to do with a civil dispute or a dispute having to do with the general safety and regulations of the city. When you get higher levels, so that the council members are not being mediated by someone that is of lower rank and thus might fear them, she is the one that has to mediate. And this all makes sense to you as something that you grew up with. Um, Reading through it, Kale, the notes seem to be written hastily as like almost a pattern. And then you see a couple of little scribble marks that are almost wearing through the paper off to the side.
Huh. Do they look like anything, or are they just scribbles?
They kind of look like someone really frustrated with the situation and they're just taking it out by like scribbling over and over in the same spot, nearly wearing through the page.
Right. Can I do a reading people or hunch to kind of
Yes, you
clarify
can.
that feeling?
Yes,
Because
you
I am
can.
good at that. That is
Yeah.
a thing that I do.
Would you like to
Especially when I
explain
roll
how that works?
16.
Awesome. Awesome. Yes. So from that, basically the pattern that is being seen in this report is predominantly the you can tell that whatever was coming from the person at a lower level was doctored.
Yeah.
Was doctored. And then you're not 100% sure because you are not a code breaker, but there seems to be a pattern of lexicon inside of this report that matches the weird jumble of writing that is the code.
Oh, interesting.
So most
So like she
likely
was
the
leaving
code
kind of a
is
coded message to herself within this official document.
most likely this document at least contains parts of the code in it. Which why would she all
Right.
and then it starts occurring to you, why would she have these reports in her personal home instead of her office or out the council chambers? It all seems like it's just part of the work thing, but Sybil mentioning that the code possibly has to do with the rules and regulations, and that's why it's locked in a cabinet in her private room. These reports are
Right.
locked in a cabinet in her private room. These are not in her office. These are not
So I'm getting the
kept with
sense of
other
like a
things.
conspiracy going on here that she's trying to hide from other council members? Question mark.
You're
Prying
not
eyes
sure.
generally.
Yeah, you're not sure, but you
But
know that there's
It
probably
relates
something
to that
fishy
rules and
with everything in
regulations.
there. Yeah, there's probably something fishy with everything in that drawer.
Listen, we've already made it very clear that we've broken into the file cabinet. I don't think
Yeah.
we can finesse that off. And they're just gonna take everything and like shove it in their backpack.
This is a very dangerous person to get on the wrong side of.
Oh, I know.
So
But
we're just
if there is a conspiracy hidden within these pages, we need to take it to someone in Deep View who will be able to decimate the information. I know someone.
great. If Sabar comes back by the end of the day and finds us here and sees what we've done, she's going to kill us. Like, I have absolutely no
we
doubt in
should
my
be
mind.
on our
So-
way. Listen,
Okay,
we've already
that's-
done. We're going to go do a crime. This, I think,
Alright.
we're gonna go do a crime. We
I
might
think
as
the
well.
whole time all this has been going on, Jax has fallen asleep like on the floor in the like living room.
Jax, please.
Dax is not going to be your source of moral high ground.
No.
Okay.
Oh no.
Jax, how do you feel about potentially having Sabar hunt us down?
At the
You're
word
okay
hunt wakes him up, and he's like, what?
Oh,
A
we
hunt?
just
Are we going on a
we
hunt?
broke. Well,
Well, okay. To summarize,
mhm.
the information in here is coded. All of these papers seem to be related to the cipher that she is using. And there's something in here that she wants to hide from other members of the council. So if we need blackmail material, we need to break the code and figure out what she's hiding from everyone else. And we can't do that here. And we've already broken the lock, so she's going to know that we've been through her papers.
Oh, so
Uh-huh.
you're
I
still,
say
you're still on it. Okay.
in for a penny,
it's
in for a
fine.
We
pound.
haven't yet. It's still here. When we leave, then it's stolen. Yes.
As well, as much as I feel like you want me to say, Sybil, I feel like you want me to say like, oh no, I don't care. Like literally, if she comes in on the hunters, I don't think she could take me. So like, it's fine. I do think it'll be a good fight though, but I don't. Ultimately, I will win for sure.
Honestly, I
'Cause
just
I
kind of
am
wanted.
who I am.
I just wanted to know that you were okay with it because I think that's where we're at.
I take what comes and I beat it up if it bothers me.
Okay.
That being said, we should probably leave now.
Yeah, let's go commit crimes.
More of them.
More crimes.
Come on,
Oh, I
Scott.
didn't think today was going to go this way.
Yeah.
Really? You did?
And I walk to the back door.
Yes.
You're being sneaky.
Yes.
We're being so sneaky.
Yeah.
So
But
you
he's not at all.
Papers
intimidated,
shoved
sneaky.
into our bags. Just
so the back door essentially leads directly into a stairwell versus the hall that comes to the kind of suite that is her home. And the stairwell takes you into kind of one of those transitionary spots. Now remember, she does not live up in Bridgecrest. She lives about halfway down Cliffside. So you have at least half of the space traveled before getting back to the tea shop, if that is where you are going. But it also means that there's not a lot of highborns, essentially, around when you exit.
Yeah, that's nice.
great.
I mean, worst thing, like when we get into the tea shop, worst thing that could happen, right, is like, you just like, excommunicated or something
No.
from your hometown.
We could definitely be killed if they feel like it.
You won't.
So
No, I know what you mean.
Oh
I
no,
know,
I'm going to.
I know what you mean by that, right? Like I know that you're like, yeah, they would execute us, but what I'm saying, right, is that they won't because I'm here, right?
Right.
No.
Oh no, I'm
Jax.
going to have to pack. Give me a moment. And Kale will actually lead you upstairs to their bedroom. As we're plotting this. So above the tea shop, there's like a little windy staircase that you've never really seen before, Sybil. It's hidden behind like a tapestry. But you go up this little rickety staircase, and there's a cute little room upstairs. It's got like a double bed. One side has like a very full side table with like books and a couple teacups, candles that have burnt down. The other side is completely cleaned off and has dust on it. There's a hammock by the window. There's a whole bunch of bookshelves and plants everywhere, like hanging from the ceiling, clustered around the windows. And if you look out the windows to a little courtyard patio that they have that's sort of over the tea shop, it's full of like absolutely full of blooming plants. And they all seem tea related. So there's like lavender and mint, chamomile, and all kinds of beautiful things growing. And they are rustling around trying to like get stuff out from under the bed. There's a trunk. I'm like, I'm I might not be able to come back depending on what happens. I'm going to need the moles to take my stuff underground.
You actually think that it's going to no,
Maybe.
because it's go poorly. We're just gonna break him out, and all of this is. I know that like Sabar might actually kill us, but the prison break is gonna go fine, right?
Because no one will find out who we are.
No, because we're gonna.
And Sabar's not going to come after us for
Yet.
that.
Yet.
At least not immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Well, well, in all honesty, if you're worried about what time does the council stuff stop is like the question, because that's probably how long we have until she finds out about all that, and then like right after that, it's probably gonna be like seize them, which they won't, right? Because again, I'm here, but
Well, she. I don't think that
there's
she
a
would go through
tear
any
rolling
kind of
down
like.
Jackson's face.
No.
I don't think if she does anything, it's not going to go through official channels. We stole something that she doesn't want anyone else to know about.
She'll
So
come after
she's
us
not.
herself.
Yeah, which is so much worse.
Kale is like, they've already changed into an outfit that's comfortable clothing for a crime. But they're packing some of their favorite clothes into this trunk and some of the books. But they've also gone downstairs and got like an armful of some of their best teas, and they're putting in the trunk. So they're packing like a go bag, essentially.
Do I need to, do you have any paper actually?
Oh yes, lots.
She doesn't want
And
to
they'll
rip
point to
anything
like
out of her
a
notebooks.
little desk with like a little ink, and clearly they write letters there frequently.
Great. I'm just gonna she goes over and starts writing out a letter to her little brother. She's like, I don't.
Oh no.
She's just panicked and is like, I don't have any idea what's going on, but the letter is basically just like trying to like set up a time that they can meet the next day.
Aww.
Like, sorry, I haven't talked to you, kind of thing.
If you all Jack's like kind of like he like wipes. He didn't even realize there was a tear. Like, what? That's weird. And then he looks at everybody and he goes, if y'all are worried about like having to like leave here, right? We always go to my place. I can show you where I grew up. It's a great time. It's empty right now.
The woods
full of bears,
and they won't mess with you.
Wolves.
No, they won't mess with you. We've established a hierarchy, and I'm at the top apparently.
I mean,
I was just going to hide in Deep View.
Not that there won't be challengers, right? There's always challenges, but
I mean, if it goes south, we might have to. But
yeah, if we need to get out of here, I mean, it's not like super close by. It'll be some time, but like we can go there. You can see where I grew up. It'd be a cool place. It's really nice. It's got a lot of fruits and vegetables and whatnot.
Hopefully, it won't come to that. Great. This is just in case. These are the things I don't want to lose.
Yeah.
Do you I don't really have anything for crime. Do you have anything I can borrow? Just like looking down at like the cardigan that she's wearing. Like, I realize I can't wear this. Should we just go so I can buy new stuff, I guess? But
yes, we're going to go to a store that's not particularly reputable anyway.
We're going to a store to buy supplies for our crime.
I mean, where else do you get stuff?
There are a lot of people in this city who need to do things clandestinely, let's say.
Yeah, okay. She finishes her letter and like folds it up. It's like I'll finds like runs outside and finds somebody to like hand it off to start the delivery process, and then comes back upstairs and is like, well, okay.
Everything's gonna be just fine. Life as you know it is just turning upside down. It's an adventure.
Everything's great. Do you have anything stronger than tea, actually?
Yes.
Great. You guys want to drink some of it? So
Sure,
I was
why
going to
not?
say, do you guys want to do shots before we do a crime?
Just enough to fortify spines, not enough to mess us up.
It's
Kale will
alcohol.
go and get
Fortify
like
your
a
spine.
flask of something and bring it upstairs and some little teacups to drink our liquor out of. And they'll pry up a floorboard and have like a bag of money that they're gonna tuck away inside their clothing. Right?
Okay.
To crime, I suppose.
Yeah.
To crime.
He throws it back.
Okay. So preparations made. You go, I'm guessing, to a little back alley shop, not even necessarily needing to go down to Deep View, to acquire some nondescript items. The person just professionally does not react. Doesn't react to your hair, doesn't react to Jax, just kind of like a drone. They
Yep.
are
And
straight face.
I'll pass him a couple extra clips like you do
Mm-hmm.
you do when you weren't here and no one has ever seen us.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Jack's
Yep.
like X cool. He's like,
Yeah.
We'll get like as much of a face covering as we can, like a hooded cloak.
Yeah.
Gloves for Jax and Kale.
Yeah.
Should we all
Big
wear
long
gloves?
ones.
I feel like
Maybe yes.
Yeah, and
I should wear gloves.
they are used to outfitting bruisers in a way that the academy is very much not. So they were able to find stuff that will fit Jax if Jax is willing to outfit himself.
Yeah, he's only doing it because he's being asked by people he cares about. So
Aw.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
figured. That's what I figured because it's Jax. But yeah, so now outfitted, you have the location of the hidden facility of person storage, as well as your supplies. Did you guys want to take a quick water break? And I do mean quick since we're already 2 hours in.
Yeah.
Or
Do like a 5-minute.
Okay,
I need to hit the
let's
bathroom.
yeah, let's do a quick little bio break, and we will be back super soon.
Let's go commit crimes.
Real fast, and then we'll do some crime.
It
Hell
is
yeah.
Pride Month. Be gay, do crime.
Hell
You know?
yes.
it's time.
That's the episode title.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Good.
Hi, guys. Welcome back. We have our very enthusiastic trio ready to commit
God.
some
Let's do some
fictional
crime.
crimes.
Some federal crimes.
Yeah,
Oh,
some
yeah.
fictional crimes. Fictional
Federal.
being the key word. Please do not take us down. But either way, welcome back. We are the Empyrean Rising group, essentially, and we are jumping right back into this. Well, we've still got this nice, high-strung energy going. You have
We're having a day.
you are having a week. It's not just a day. You are having a week. You have stumbled your way directly into, okay, it's not just the illusion of a crime now. You guys are in some shit, but you have gotten your supplies. It takes until evening, really, to get to the location. Because remember, you were up and then you were down and then you
Yeah.
had to go get stuff. So traveling to the location, which is kind of topside, just not in the city, does require going all the way back up the cliffs. So
I will
it's
stop in at
evening.
one point to drop off the trunk
Mhm.
with some young strapping lads who are just like loitering around somewhere, and some clips will pass hands, and Kale will whisper in their ear about where to take it in the underground.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
Alrighty. So yeah,
and that includes the papers, so that they do not want those on their person while they're going to go do some crime.
probably a good idea. Good designation. Thank you very
Yep.
much.
Yep.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so you get up to the top. It's not quite dusk by the time you get up there, and then, as much as anything else, Jax actually helps to lead you in the approximate direction, because now that you are not in the city proper, he's the one with the most experience moving around. So you, based off of the very crudely drawn map, are able to get an idea of where in the neighboring, almost like foothills slash portion of not quite mountains, that you are near Ice and Bridge, that this facility or whatever it is. Um, and you kind of skirted around it, mostly because there just weren't a lot of animals in the area that would be of interest to you. But you can find it fairly easily, and it is a not quite cave system. It is well camouflaged, but it is a not quite cave system that has been built out from there. So it is definitely not from whenever the city itself was built. It is from after that.
Do I know of any tunnels that connect back to the city in this area?
Make an intellect roll.
I am good at
DC
this.
4. DC 4, if you have anything that would make that easier, such
I am
as
checking.
a reason to know, even beyond skills.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in your history that would affect it?
I have find the way as an explorer. When I
Okay.
apply effort to navigation task because I don't know the way, are lost, or attempting to blaze a new route,
Okay.
you can apply a free level of effort. It's an
Okay.
enabler though, so it might allow me to do stuff I wouldn't normally be able to.
Yeah, that's more of a you don't know the way, you just happen to be
Yeah.
able to find it.
Yeah.
I'm talking more like, would you theoretically in your character history have explored outside of the city?
Maybe, yeah, with Rabbit.
Okay.
Especially if we, heard that this is where they take, criminals. We're like, ooh, gotta go.
You have
see.
not heard of this location
Oh,
before,
interesting.
but it is explorable. So I'll say that, yeah, that would ease it by 1.
Okay, awesome. So I need then what? It'd be 4 down to 3.
Mhm.
So 9 or better.
Yeah,
All right, that is a 12.
good enough. So you know that there are tunnels that do lead in this direction. You thought that it was just kind of an escape tunnel initially from Deepview, for if there is any type of rockfall or major problem that happens,
Right.
and that this would be an outlet versus a way in. So it also makes sense that quite possibly he was taken directly here instead of away
Oh,
from
interesting.
Deepview
Right.
and able to be seen by the general public.
Right. She did mention that these tunnels hadn't, or these cells hadn't been used in a really long time.
Yes.
Okay. And I'll gather everybody in close.
Yeah.
I think they brought him here from Deepview so that he wouldn't have to go through the city. So that means that there's a way back there. I think that's our route to take.
Great. Okay. How do we start this? Never committed a crime before.
I've done plenty. Look, I'll tell you. Right, you ready?
Yep.
Idea, right?
Idea.
You two. Wait a second. Right. I'll go down there and cause a ruckus. And by ruckus, I mean a brawl.
I figured.
And while everyone's distracted with me because I'm awesome, you sneak in there and you go get them and take them out.
Yeah. Yes. Sybil, do you think that
Okay.
you could open that lock the same way you did the safe?
Probably. It depends on what it is. I mean, this is all very new. Hopefully.
I will try to find a key, but that's our backup if we can't.
The biggest problem with this plan, though, and I want you to be aware of this, is that I won't be there with you. So if you run into anybody, you may have to deal with them yourself. Right.
Right.
So
Are
we're
you cool with
splitting
this?
up. Where
Jax, are you sure you'll be okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I'm worried about you, right? I'm hoping, right? The plan is for all of them to come to me because I'm gonna be, just taking them out one by one, left and right. They'll never know. I mean, they will know what hit them because it'll be me. But yeah, they may not all come, and that's the problem.
We will attempt to be very sneaky, and we'll deal with problems if we need to.
All right. I quite literally, if you run into trouble that you feel like you can't get out of, shout. Shout.
Oh yes.
Code name. Ready? Are you ready?
Oh.
Let's go. Wait. Mr. Thunder. Yeah. Mr. Thunder. Yeah.
That seems a tad on the nose.
No. I thought
I guess we can't call you your actual name, so. Really, Mr. Thunder? That's really what we want to go with?
Bear?
Okay.
Or wolf?
Bear?
Which do you prefer?
Either one. I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah. Shout as loud as you can if you like backed in the corner, and I will get there as fast as I can. Yeah.
Right.
We will yell bear. Bear means help.
Got you.
Okay. So
this is a great plan. It's going to go very well.
This is a phenomenal plan. This is a phenomenal plan. Yeah. So
you need help, yell bear.
So luckily, it is not a particularly large facility, at least from what you can see while sneaking around and observing it. There is one primary entrance, at least from the kind of wilderness side, that you can tell. I'm assuming that is where Jax is going to start his commotion. There's some windows, but they all seem too small for a person to easily squirm through. And it is as camouflaged as possible, which is why the crudely drawn map was necessary. Let's go ahead and say that you get it started.
Right.
Are you ready?
The moment we've
Jack-
all been waiting for.
Jax, wait, that thing that happened in the cave, I can like try and give that to you again if you want? Or you kind of like blinked in and out?
Oh yeah, it'd be even cooler because that'd be like that'd be even more terrifying to like have someone walk up and then be like,
I
Yeah, I'm here
missed this.
Oh, well, it's really cool if I can do it again. Just hold on. And she like closes her eyes and puts a hand like directly in the center of Jax's chest and focuses really hard. And I'm essentially casting distortion on you. You only have it for a minute.
So you're gonna have to
it's-
run in, because that's 6 rounds.
It is an asset on speed defense.
Nice.
And Jax just basically starts flickering in and out of
Yeah.
like
He looks-
a TV screen.
Yeah, he looks like a scary shadow monster, TV staticked into Jax, TV staticked into amorphous, shadowy weirdness, TV staticked into Jax, just back and forth constantly.
Kale goes,
Oh.
ah!
Yeah,
then
that's
go,
so much
go.
worse. Go, bye.
as soon as it happens, he like readies himself and he sprints.
Because
Um,
it's not as pitch black up here as it was in the caves.
Mhm.
he sprints
Mhm.
to like the entrance.
Yeah. And there's a guard there who sees you coming and screams like a little girl.
That's fucking terrifying.
He Jax like starts saying something and he's trying to disguise his voice and he's like you guardian of this place, you are charged with the penalty of unfair treatment. Bring your best. We are the Legion, and we will destroy this establishment.
You only have
So-
60 seconds.
I'll
It's good.
grab
It's good.
the
No,
person,
this is traumatic. Mwah.
but I'll grab the person and lift him up if I can. Scream
So,
for help.
so because you're grabbing and lifting him up, roll to intimidate, either might or intellect, entirely based off or based on what you want to roll for it. But it is a DC 9 right now, like a 3, so a 9 or better, because you are literally a flickering shadow monster that looks like this giant muscly dude that is entirely
It's
enshrouded in
terrifying.
clothing, lifting him by the neck. So it's
I
not
can-
like
I
it's
can-
particularly
Slender Man.
difficult. The only reason why it's a
do-
9 or a 3 instead of like a 2 is because he is trained to be there.
So I can do a free reroll, right? Once per day. This is
You
the
can
thing.
because of your chaotic thing.
Oh my god.
It says if I do this, regardless of the outcome, I get a GM intrusion. So that's the thing. I'm gonna use a different one. No, I'm not gonna use that same die.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Oh
that's,
no.
that's an 8.
You have a nat 20 still, remember. Because you've got that banked
It's true.
from
That's
when
true.
Alec was in chat.
Oh, I'll do it. I'll use it. If I
You're
can
gonna
use
use
it, I'll
it?
use it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll let you use it.
You were
I'll
pretty
let you use it because
terrifying.
you weren't thinking about it and you were pretty terrifying. So nat 20 also is a major effect. So something about the interaction between the distortion and your attempt to intimidate and your strength creates this weird amalgam of, instead of just lightning, you've also got, for that moment, a booming, thunderous voice that makes the guy in your hand literally pass out in fear.
Understandable.
And
Good.
you can
Yes.
hear people inside, like,
Losing their shit.
doing stuff. It's loud. They're possibly picking things up. They're possibly panicking and running into walls. You don't know. But it is loud. You can hear things clanging and a couple of, again, very girlish screams. A couple of them do, like, peek their head around a corner to see what the fuck is happening. Wide eyes see you. One of them runs the other way in total terror. But one of them responds to the fear with fight and just desperate for their life charges you.
Come at me with all that you've got.
So I'm assuming you're dropping the person that
Yeah.
you're holding, or are you going to use them to
just
block?
kinda-
I have no idea.
I just kind of like toss them to the side and like
Okay.
stand.
All right, so you have a asset to speed defense, I believe, from distortion.
Yes, when I'm not. Yes, and I'm also trained in it when I'm not in armor.
Okay, so that means that it's eased by 2 because you have an asset and you're trained. So the guy comes charging at you with what looks like some sort of spear or halberd or long weapon of some kind. Like just trying to hold it together and war battle cry because monster attacking. There's a monster attacking. And they have been guarding someone that they possibly even think is a monster. So this is literally the stuff of nightmares for this person. He comes charging at you. It is normally a DC 5, so 15, eased by 2, that brings it down to a 3, so 9 or better to dodge this blow.
Okay, you're not gonna believe what just happened.
Please
I got
tell
a
me
nat 20.
Nat 20. Okay, so nat 20 in combat.
Good.
You get another major effect. Everybody froze. There we go. Okay,
Oh, we're back.
you get another major effect. So you can knock the person down. You can stun them. You can get a free counterattack.
I'll
You
go
can
with the free
catch it.
counter attack.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can catch it if you want. But yeah, so not only do you thoroughly dodge, but you get to have a major effect that happens.
I feel, and you let me know if I can do this or not.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like Jax kind of like he was standing there and like then he disappears from this person's sight.
Mhm.
And the next thing they see is him kind of like in the air slightly, like he jumped, and his foot is on the tip of the spear. And there's like a brief second before his full weight comes down on it. And he just, and in that moment of like pause, he's just
Oh, yeah.
like, "Is this your best?"
Oh
And,
yeah,
and then it slams down to the ground.
you full on like flicker stepped like Naruto level Shunshin up onto the spear, and then it drops as you attack. It is still terrifying for the guy, but he's already terrified. So go ahead and make your attack.
The
All
anime
right.
fight music is playing
Get another.
real loud
Yeah.
right
Get
now.
another. Get another nat 20.
Oh my!
We
If I
all
get another,
see what
I'll
Jax
cry.
does.
3 nat 20s in
Unleash.
a row.
That's 16 on the die.
Ooh.
16 will definitely hit him. So are you using shock?
Not yet.
Okay. So you deal how much?
6 points of damage.
6 points of damage in this
That's your
system.
base.
For anyone that is new to the stream or VOD, that is a lot. That is a lot of damage. That is more than what would essentially be a greatsword. Um,
With my
so
fist.
yeah. So
It's a
you like
truck.
full on right up onto the spear. It drops. And then is it a kick? Is it a punch? How are you attacking the guy as the counterattack?
I like to think that it's kind of like he lands on the spear, and as it falls down with the same foot that he landed on it with, it's just a quick kick to the jaw.
Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. So as you do so, his spear drops. I'm going to consider that as part of the major effect of the initial dodge. His spear drops. You land a hard one right here to the jaw, and he seems briefly stunned, but he is still standing. And either the jaw is dislocated or he is in shock because it is hanging open. The two of you, are you watching this like it's entertainment, or are you
No.
trying
Horrified.
to sneak in?
Horrifying.
Okay.
We're gonna
think we
be
were-
trying. I think we're stunned and
I
shocked.
think we
now.
were trying to sneak in, and then we
And we're both
saw
like-
him, and we're like, "Holy shit!" Like, just absolutely.
We like look at each
terrified.
other and then look at him, and we're just like, right, back on business.
Okay, yeah, just like
Yeah,
cloak pulled,
right.
like
Right.
Okay.
Hoods up, sneaking across the field.
All right.
we are not the most interesting person here.
No,
So
God, no.
another person peeks around the corner in time to see you kick away the other person. We are going to say that we are now in round 3 because you took a round to speak and then a round to defend and attack. We are now in round 3 of the 6 that you get with distortion. Another person looks around the corner and they hold their stance in place because they don't want to approach, but they also don't want to retreat. Are you going to use your turn to attack the same guy that is possibly staring at you with a dislocated jaw?
Yes, and the entire time I'm looking at the other person, just weird.
Okay. So
just
go
to
ahead
knock
and make
out.
your attack. Yeah. Go ahead and make your attack.
That's a 6 on the die.
6 on the die. 6 on the die does not quite hit. You're a little distracted doing the intimidating stare down of the person that is frozen in your sight like an eagle staring down their prey. And it does not seem to negate any of the fear that you have incurred against this poor soldier that is, again, just doing his job. He's just doing his job. He's not necessarily the good guy, but he's just a guy doing his job. And like one hand reaches up to try and kind of hold the jaw, and it is definitely dislocated. And then the other like starts patting around on his body because you have knocked the spear out of his hand, looking for a weapon to attempt to attack you with. And he's going to spend that turn trying to kind of panic shove his jaw back into place while he pulls out a dagger because it's the only other thing that he's got.
If I can, as I see this person doing that, I will simply say, if you wish to face me properly, you're going to need more people.
His jaw's dislocated. He can't speak properly right now.
Dex is having really so much fun.
Oh, I'm sure that he is. I'm sure that he is. But yeah, so like the other guy hears you, luckily, as you're saying that. Definitely doesn't want to take you on his own and starts shouting into the building for backup as loud as he can, like slamming the butt of his spear into the ground and like knocking a shield into the wall. Back up, back up. We need backup. Another monster. Back up. It's another monster. It's happening.
Well, that's pretty rude. But
Yeah, that's rude. Yeah, using the M word, that's a problem.
the monster bird, that's my friend
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah,
That's your friend
look,
that
we're
currently
all people
looks
here.
like a being of cursed shadow.
Yeah. He's
and
like
I love
buff
him
Slender
for it.
Man. Buff Slender Man is
Yeah.
beating the shit out of these guards.
Mhm.
It's a great
are-
time.
But
We're
yeah,
not
so you've got
monsters.
so you've got you've definitely got higher speed. You are I'm not going to make you roll initiative because you got that knock on him. So you go before the guards do. Are you going to make another strike at the dislocated panicky dude?
Yes, I
Okay.
will. And he goes, this time,
Mhm.
stay down. And that's a 2. So
All right.
You pull your punch.
yeah, I'm trying not to.
Make another intimidation check.
Ooh,
Yeah, make another intimidation check. This time with intellect because you are not legitimately holding the guy up in the air by his throat.
that is a 16 on the die.
Ooh.
He just kind of kneels down and like lays down like this and then like shoves at his jaw again. Instead of hitting him unconscious, you have intimidated him into, okay, yes, I'm down. I am down. I am definitely down. I am trying to fix my face and I'm crying a little bit.
I would cry too, bud.
Yeah.
Me too.
It's fair. Yeah, I would cry if
And-
Jax came up to me and started talking like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
God.
And at that point, like 5 other guys show up to back up this panicky frozen person, and they seem to confer a little bit, and then all just try to charge down the hall at you. It's a little bit of a Three Stooges situation because it's a 1-person hallway.
Great.
And then like in a line directly out at you. A couple of them have shields, a couple of them do not. But they are wearing armor, which is possibly why you did not one-shot the dude.
It's fair.
Yeah.
Jax just says, yes, more praying.
Mm-hmm. So I believe that this is round 5. Okay. So as they kind of funnel out, I'm assuming that you are leaving room so that your friends can get in behind them. So you're trying to lead them out? Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to go back out to the front.
Mhm.
Because one, well, actually, it technically would be easier to fight them one-on-one in a hallway because they have to come at me one at a time. But I don't care about that. That's not the main
All
goal
right.
here.
All right, cool. So
I
yeah,
imagine that I was just gonna say, I imagine that we've snuck up and are like against the wall in like a hiding place, waiting for all the people to go rushing past and fight Jax.
no one is looking at you.
Yeah, no.
No one is looking at you.
Great.
So yeah, these like 6 guys, because 5 joined the first one, pile out like full on, one after the other. Like 3 of them have spears, 2 of them have swords, one of them has like this big old mace looking thing, and like a couple of them even have shields, and they're going to all take shots at you. But
Alrighty.
you get to attack first because you go before them in the round.
Oh yeah. And this time, because now that I know that because they have armor on,
Mhm.
that they're not going down, I will use shock,
You will use shock.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
which costs 1 intellect point, which I have at 1 edge in intellect. So
All
Don't cost
righty.
anything.
it
We're not
costs
even
me nothing.
looking.
You can just do this for free.
Yeah, his you two would see his start to like light up with purple
Oh no.
electricity.
Just like, oh, we gotta go, actually.
Kale's like waving you in, like go.
That's an 8 on the die.
8 on the die does not hit. You are looking for a 12.
Gotcha.
Are you doing the triple attack thing or just the shock?
Yeah, just using shock.
Okay. So yeah, the first of the 6 of them dodges the shock, looks even more terrified because they're wearing metal armor, and then swipes at you with the mace.
Alrighty.
I would like a speed defense. At 15, dropped by 2 because of your training and the distortion, because you are still in the distortion for, I believe, this round, and then next round will be
yeah.
the last. So that drops it down to 3, so 9 or better.
And I got a 9 on the die.
Nice.
Perfect. All right, so yeah,
Thank you,
you
Becky.
just narrowly dodge out of the way of that one, but there's 6 of them.
That's
Make
fine.
another speed defense.
Yeah. So it's a 6. I almost thought it was another 9. It's a 6.
So that was a sword. So that one is a medium weapon dealing, I believe, 4 might.
Mm-hmm.
Next one.
Fine. I'm fine, everybody.
Mhm.
That is an 18 on the die.
Ooh, very good, very good. You, like, it just whiffs right past you. Let's go into the 3 spears.
Alrighty. First one at a nat 20.
Oh my god.
All right,
Third
so
nat 20.
Oh my god.
yeah,
You
beautiful,
can kill
beautiful.
this one.
So this one, again, that's a major effect. So you can stun, you can knock the weapon out of their hand, you can counterattack, you can use that attack to block the next strike on you. It's a major effect. So be creative. Let me know what you want.
I think it fits for him to because he's trying to keep them distracted as long as possible. So I'll use that attack to block the next attack.
Okay.
And
So
sort of
I
like
believe,
redirect the spear into
yeah.
the other spear to block
All
it.
right. So that just automatically blocks the other one. Make another speed defense.
All right, come on. That's a 6 again.
6. Okay. So that one hits you. This one is a spear, so that is a heavier weapon, dealing 4, 5, 6, 6 points. 6 points, right? I believe. Let me look at my thing.
Yeah, I think it's 2,
I
4,
believe.
6 is
Yeah,
Yeah,
2,
the
4,
heavy
6.
weapons.
Yeah.
light, medium, heavy.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. So that is another to your might. So
Come on, Jaxie.
I believe that is all. Did I forget one of the swords?
I believe I made 4 rolls altogether.
You did the mace, you did a sword,
yeah.
and
So
then
5.
all 3 spears. So yeah, you have another sword coming at you.
All right. I'm gonna switch up the die.
Yeah.
Good luck, fresh.
That's a 3. That was not
Oh no.
nice.
3. So that is another 4 might.
Ouch.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It
How you
brings me
doing?
down. It brings me down to a 1 in my might pool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
But
That's not good.
Recovery rolls are 1 action.
yeah, you have a 1 action recovery roll, and you have plenty of movement because you can attempt to move around so that you are not
Mhm.
surrounded.
Yeah, I think because it's my turn now, right? That was all
Mhm.
6 of them.
Yeah, that was all
So
of them.
yeah, I will. I feel like Jax will kind of like circle, so that he's like on like the outside, so he'll like move out and shift so that they're all kind of like in front of him,
Okay.
rather than surrounding him.
Yeah.
And I think I will do a recovery
Okay.
action.
Go right ahead.
It's also good to draw them further away from the front door, like making them
Yes.
chase you.
Yeah. And that's a 2 on the die. So that's 3. Hello.
All right.
Is that's all I can do, right?
Yes, but you still have distortion for this round. So it will assist with your attempts to avoid. So the two of you are sneaking in. Okay. So as you slip in, you see a couple of heavy slashes at your unarmored friend.
Yikes.
Yeah.
He doesn't flinch at all.
He
Yeah.
doesn't flinch. He
Ow.
is
Ow.
Jax.
He
He did fight a bear.
He is your muscle man. He is your fighter. So
I imagine that's what Kale is whispering, just like he fought a bear. He fought a bear.
He fought a bear. He fought a bear. Yeah, no, 100%. They're keeping it.
Yeah.
He fought a bear. He'll be all right.
Yeah.
He jumped off the cliff.
It's the multiple foes curse. But
Oh,
anyway,
yeah, that's rough.
yeah. You guys sneak in. There are some people that are legitimately hiding in rooms.
Great.
He created a genuine terror effect. So navigating is a little difficult. You don't know where in this fairly small facility the guy is being kept, but I'm assuming that you are attempting to avoid being seen by the people that are hiding.
Mm-hmm.
So I would like some stealth rolls from you guys.
Hell yes. Effort is happening.
Yeah.
Trained.
Which
sneaking.
You are so good at this.
So stealth is generally a might task because it requires dexterity and coordination. So since they are distracted and fearful, normally it would just be a 3, so a 9 or better. On the person who is trained in sneaking, that is a 2, so a 6 or better. He is making this very easy on you by being the distraction.
Thank you.
Hopefully.
Thank you, Jax.
Yeah. And if he retreats into the bush, by the way, Jax, since we don't have a tactics map, there are bushes and trees that would prevent them from being able to surround you.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I'm
11
re-rolling.
and... Okay.
I'm re-rolling.
Okay.
This is my one re-roll for this encounter. Wait, is encounter... Did I already use it for this encounter, or... No, because this just started.
No, you re-rolled it for the cryptography type of thing.
Great. I got a 4, by the way.
You got a 4?
Oh.
No, before. This was a 9.
Okay, that's good enough.
I think that's what we needed.
Yeah.
Well, I needed a 6.
Yeah, so Sybil only needed a 6 because it is eased for Sybil. So yeah, you almost kick into one of the dropped shields from one of the hiding soldiers. And react just in time to make your foot phase through it instead. That's what that re-roll is. Yeah, that was what that re-roll was. And then Kale, I believe that you're the one that is attempting to find the way.
Yeah, I am an explorer, and it's a thing I do.
All right, so find the way.
And I am in fact going to find the way.
Please.
So I get a free level of effort.
Yep.
Reducing it by 1 rank.
Yeah, so it would normally just, again, be a 9 because it is a small facility. So that brings it down to a 6. So in other words, a 2. So
10.
3 or better, or 6 or better.
Okay.
A 10. Very good. Very good. So yeah, you are able to find the very logically oriented hall-ish type of thing. It's a step down. So it's going into the rock face. To
Is
find
it dark in
where...
Here?
No, they've got lights. They've got
okay, cool.
Not necessarily torches, they're more of the reeds that are used.
Right.
But nevertheless, there is enough light
light
for other people to see. Yeah. You would be fine, but Sybil is also
for
able
me
to see.
Yeah, good.
Sybil is also able to see. So, Jax, we are coming back around to you. It is the top of the next round. How
Sorry.
are you treating this situation? And remember that you can move in immediate distance and attack,
Maybe should.
or you can move a short distance and attack with effort applied.
Hmm. Yes, that's what I will. I will move a short distance and attack, with effort because I want to go for if I can if they're close enough.
Mhm.
One of the spear people because
Mhm.
they seem like they're doing the most damage to me so far.
Yes, they've got the reach.
All right, we're rolling. It's a
Mhm.
17.
17. 17 not only hits, but does an extra point of damage.
And I still have shock up.
Oh
Yes, you
God.
do.
So
So
this does a whopping 10 points of damage to this
10
person
points of
because
damage.
shock does an extra 3.
Shark does an extra 3. And home rules. He's wearing a lot of metal, and that's electricity, so it stuns him for a round. So you wallop this dude. You just roll along the spear, wallop him. And are you spending the effort to be able to move further? Or are
Yes.
you only going to move about 10 feet?
Yeah, I'll spend the effort to move further.
Okay. So you are able to move that short distance, and you have like a couple of trees and shrubs around you, which prevents them from being able to surround you. And you can also attempt to like in further rounds because your distortion will end after this one. Like hide, you can attempt to like lure them away by running further so that they have to kind of do that guerrilla tactics of you turn and fight them and then you run and then you turn and fight them and then you run to lead them further away, or you can just kind of stand and fight where you have a little bit of a tactical advantage.
Yeah, I will stand and fight where
Of course you will.
because Jax
Of course you will.
Because
is not a
he's
runner.
Jax. He's Jax. All right, so
I was like, no, run away, run away. Oh, of course he's fighting.
only two can reach you with the way that you have positioned yourself. And you are used to being able to position yourself in these types of environments, which is why I'm not making you make any type of roll to get tactical positioning. This is what you do. You fight bears, you fight wolves. You know how to use the wilderness to your advantage so that you don't have the entire fucking pack hounding you at the same time. So, two of them, go ahead and make two speed defense tasks. Both of them are, remember, dropped to a 9.
You won't believe this,
What was it,
right?
another 20?
Please tell me
It's
it's
Is it
another-
another 20?
It's another
Oh,
nat 20.
Yeah. What is this dice? Can I
Yes.
have it? Can you
I-
send
I
it
can-
to me?
For
I
this
can
fight.
send photo evidence if you
I believe
want.
you. I believe you. I believe you.
Everybody,
Oh.
this is a great time. I've been waiting for
This is
this.
a,
Jax
yeah,
has been
this is
waiting for
great.
this.
Oh.
Jax is motivated. That's why your dice are
Yes.
cooperating. Jax
Hell
is
yes.
motivated.
He's like, finally, I get to fight.
I think I
So,
punch anybody in the
so
chest.
what's your effect? What's your major effect this time around? What do you want it to be?
Ooh.
I think, no. I kind of want to end the fight as soon as I can. So I want to counterattack because I want to be able to go protect my friends if they need it.
Okay, so Jax is not a dumb individual. No matter how you may occasionally try to play his history, he is not a stupid person. He would have seen how his shock reacts or was received by the metal armor on this individual. Would you like to, and this is not an intrusion, it is just a suggestion, would you like to say instead of just fully counterattacking, you shock him through his weapon?
Yes, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay.
Like as
So
as
that
he
would at
reaches his
least,
hand up.
yeah, so he would be stunned in place for a round. So that like completely knocks him out for a round. Doing damage would potentially cause unconsciousness, but you would need to hit, essentially. So it's entirely up to you. Do you want a free stun, or do you want to try to do damage?
I will take the free stun.
Okay.
He'll sort of like reach up, like as it's like, I imagine it's like coming by his face, and he just like with the opposite hand of the side that it's on, it just lights up with electricity again, and he grabs it. And he says, "Foolish, foolish," as it happens.
All right. I'm also gonna give you a free dodge of the other attack coming your way, because he's stunned and in the way now. The
Lovely.
two of you that are currently searching, you do find essentially not necessarily sliding door, but kind of a sliding barred gate that is very obviously on, like, it's obvious mechanics instead of the magical shit that you saw below ground. That leads into where you have determined the prisoner likely is. You can attempt to find the catch, or you can attempt to negate the mechanism, knowing that there is likely a further lock-in.
As a slap panel kind of thing.
Yeah.
I can try and shatter it.
The
if you
gate?
want. I mean, well, no. I was gonna say like whatever mechanism is holding it closed, but
Yeah, like it's a sliding barred gate. So it's kind of one of those
yeah, I
things
guess.
of, you can find the mechanism in the room that basically closes and opens it. It's
Right.
not a magical panel on the wall.
Mhm.
It's like
Or-
a chain that you like pull.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
you know that you've got that intrusion ability to have that convenient mechanical disruption.
I do. That sounds fun, and we need more XP.
No. Like, it's
That
an
one
XP
costs you one.
I
that
know.
costs you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things.
I could just
of,
open it for you and you could go through.
I mean, I can go through it and find something
That's
on the
true.
opposite side, but
Yeah.
this is stupid. We could.
Yeah.
Hold on. Pico?
Do you see it? Oh my god.
Just a sec. Pico, can you get through to the other side and open this for us?
Yeah.
I will put
I
my
don't
arm
know. I
down
don't know
and
how
like
it works.
let him jump off onto the ground.
He scurries forward. Scott King the rat also following behind.
King Scott.
King Scott, sorry. King Scott the rat. But yeah, so like the two of them kind of squirm through. Pico actually fits a little bit better than Scott does, because Scott's got to squirm through, but rats can fit through surprisingly small places.
Oh, yeah.
So
Anything that
you
they can get
see
their
him
toes through, they can move
squeeze.
through.
I hate
Yeah.
it. It's the worst.
Yeah,
Mhm.
you see him squeeze, but he makes through. It takes a minute before not Scott, Pico goes, I think I found something. Give me a second. I think. Go ahead and make an intellect roll for
Yay.
Pico.
Poor Pico.
Yeah, so 4, so 12 or better.
Oh, I might spend my reroll on Pico because that was
Okay.
a 4.
Okay.
Oh, that's a nat 20.
Okay.
Nice.
That was a well
Yes.
spent reroll.
Yes, it is.
Nice.
Yes, it
That was a
is.
very well spent reroll.
All right. So yeah, you hear almost a crunch, and Pico like pulls something on the other side that unlatches the gate, and it starts like kind of moving, and then not necessarily cracks, but thunks and goes crooked off of the rail that was hidden inside of the wall. So
like
it
a-
is broken and able to be moved, but it is broken. On the other side,
Is Evie
you see,
frozen for everyone else? Oh.
There,
Yeah.
yeah, there we go. Sorry.
You were frozen.
Yeah, you guys froze earlier too. But yeah, so
no.
on the other side, you see Pico has literally pulled open a panel on the wall and like yanked out a couple of chains that worked with the mechanisms.
Cool.
Great.
I get a minor effect for that too. Can I say that's
Yes, you
also
do.
how to open the prison cells?
You can say that from that it leads you directly to the prison cells. It doesn't
Cool.
open it.
Yeah. That is
but
We get a
it
shortcut.
shows, yeah, it leads you directly to the prison cells, and you can tell what those panels on the wall look like now.
Cool. So I will wrench the gate open so we can get through.
Yes.
And
Outside,
then, good job.
outside, Jax, it is the top
Yeah.
of the round, and the distortion drops.
Oh,
Oh, Jax. Oh, Jax.
bye.
Fine. It's okay.
Please be okay. We cannot rescue
Believe
you.
in you.
So I've got one stun, right? And have I taken out one, or is that one also still stunned?
That one comes out of stun and is injured.
Yeah.
So he's not doing great. He looks like he just got smacked in the face with a stun gun.
Yes, the best. Because I imagine I was still holding the like spear.
Mm-hmm.
Jax is going to try to he's going to come up with the same side leg that he's holding the spear with, and just like bring it up to the face.
Okay, so go ahead and make an attack.
That is a 14.
14 hits because he is stunned.
And that is 6 points of damage because I'm not using shock.
14 more than hits because he was stunned, because it's a 12 to hit. So yeah, you just knock right into him. You said you did 6 points because you're not
just my
using
normal
shock.
6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, he is stunned, and make another just flat d20 roll for me.
Okay. This isn't scary at all. That's an 8.
8. All right. Yeah. So he does not do well with the fact that he can't move with the hit. He can't even attempt to lessen it at all. So you have extended the stun for another round.
Oh, fun.
So he is unable to move and is just kind of in shock and bloodied at this point. Because initially it was electricity, and then it was so he's just kind of there and in the way.
To play off the fact that I've stopped shifting or stuttering, Jax will then say, it looks like I won't even have to try hard with you all.
Would you like to make another attempt at intimidation?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Just legit an anime.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Is who I am. That is a 15 on the die.
15. The other spearman that had approached with him just drops his spear, staring at you. For future reference, this is an encounter that these guys were not prepared for and had never seen before. Magic is unusual. It is not something that they are experienced with. It might not be as easy to scare them with it later on, but you'll also be doing significantly further damage.
Yeah. And hopefully not fighting them just one at a time. Just one of us.
Just one of us.
So
right?
it's just don't expect it to be this easy to scare the shit out of these people. But there are probably a couple of people in there that are hiding that you literally scared the shit out of.
That
It
is
doesn't
fair.
stink yet,
I'll
but
take
it's
it.
gonna.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
I will
so
take
Brown
that.
trousers time.
yeah, so we've got one that's dropped his spear. We've got one that's stunned for another round, and both of them are the two that can reach you, so the other ones can't reach you around them. You have not
Nice.
managed to scare them into running yet,
Mhm.
but it's close. You get the feeling based off of your prior experience that another really thorough intimidation or just flat out knocking someone out might cause these people that are mostly used to guarding and breaking up like tavern brawls to actually run.
Mhm. Got it.
So you got that general sense of how the flow is going in the fight.
Fighting monsters beyond their pay grade.
Yes, very much so.
Look, when I
Yeah.
said Jax fights, he fights. You know,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what he
very,
does.
very
He
much
really-
so. But yeah, so inside, you guys are able to find the cell, and there's like 2 or 3 of them at most. There's not a lot of storage space here for people. But inside, in a very, very simple cell, there is no window to it. It is just the barred door with a line painted on the ground outside of it that will indicate how far someone can reach on average outside of the cell. Is someone that looks like they are entirely made out of crystal. There is a cot, there is a bucket for waste, and there is a wash basin. And that is it that is in that cell. The person that looks like they are made entirely out of crystal is just kind of laying there, staring up at the ceiling, but they have this kind of tenseness to them. One of you can read people, so that's why I'm describing it.
Yep.
They've got this kind of tenseness to them that seems to be resigned fear. Like
Right.
they are not
I'm going
looking up
to-
even with the sound of your approach.
I'm gonna Brendan, and then take off my glove and show my hand. We're from Deep View. We've come to get you out.
Hi.
Persuasion check, please.
Yeah.
I believe in you.
Is me being
Is 13?
being really nice helpful?
I'm trained in all social interactions actually.
Yeah. So that does at least get him to kind of not necessarily fully sit up, but kind of prop himself up to where he can look at you.
Yeah, and I'll hold out the hand so he can like properly see it.
He coughs a little bit again. There's no real sound to it, but you do see little bits of crystalline rock that spew out with a little bit of dust as he sits up fully and just kind of squints at you. It's hard to tell because even his eyes are faceted. It's not someone that looks like a crystal gem genasi from D&D. They look like a living, potentially breathing statue made out of faceted stone.
Are you?
My friend, it's
Yeah.
you've been through a time, but we've come to take you home.
Are you okay?
And he just kind of gestures at his throat.
Kale, do you want to start looking for a way through it, and I will look at him and see if he's in a state of moving?
Oh, I'll see if I can get a key or something.
I'm gonna like phase through the bars to go get a closer look at him.
He freaks out just a little because someone just walked through solid matter, like staggers back, falls off of the cot, and backs up to the wall.
I'm cool. Well, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not really cool. That's a different conversation. I just wanted to. Kale's gonna. We weren't gonna use our names.
That's fine. That's fine. We know his name. It's fine. He's with the underground.
Hi. Just do you want to like sit down and relax and just we're gonna get you out of here. They're gonna go look for a way to open the door. I'm gonna just make sure you're okay. Yeah.
Well, he's already on his ass on the ground, backed up to the wall.
Great.
So he's
Yeah.
already sitting, but he just stares at you without trying to move away as you approach.
We
and
also
there
have like
is-
still our like face coverings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
There is some semblance of clothing on him as well. You can see where the pants have torn a little bit from the abrasive nature of attempting to bend with rock. Same thing with all of the joints on his shirt. As you get closer, you can see spider-webbed cracking all up the neck and shoulder and across his throat and reaching partially down his arm.
I know that the walking through the bars is like technically an action. Can I do anything else or
It'll be next round. Yeah. All right. So, Jax, you have someone who is too frightened
Jax.
to attack you, and someone who is still stunned in front of you and looks like they are barely holding on to consciousness. And then you've got a
Jax,
series of other people like trying to figure out how to reach you and if they are willing to do so.
Jax just leans in like he's about to whisper to this person, but he doesn't whisper. He says this really loudly, and he says, "Do not worry, it'll be over soon." And then I'll punch him.
Oh no.
Okay. It's the stunned one or the one that's too frightened to act?
The one that's stunned.
Okay. The stunned one, I'm just gonna say, since he kind of just got double stunned, you just get a free hit on him.
99.
It is same hand that I was holding. I just let go, and then I just give a quick chop to like the side of the neck, not the front, because that'll cause problems, but
Yeah.
the side is fine.
Yes. As they are experiencing, hitting the throat of someone in a fight causes issues. But yes, so like you knock the shit out of this dude. Possible concussion. He crumples like a marionette with its strings cut in front of you as you just kind of look up from the body at the others. Make one more intimidation roll. This time you can use might if you wanted to use effort.
I will. I will. I will spend a point of effort here.
Okay.
So that'll be.
So it's going to be a really low difficulty class. It's like 9 or no, it's a 3 difficulty class. Yeah, no, so 9 because
14.
You have kicked the shit out of these people and look like some sort of freaky monster with the fading in and out of shadow and literally attacking them with lightning. They don't have electricity. They don't know what the fuck is going on. It's not like they've got like light bulbs and shit.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I got a 14.
So 14. Yeah, that is definitely good enough. There's this solid moment of them maintaining eye contact with you, and it seems to last forever before just kind of trembling as one. They just kind of clutch they don't even drop them. They just kind of clutch it to their chest and start backing up. Not necessarily even in the direction of the building, because they were in the building when you approached. and they're looking like they're trying to get away without directly running and turning their backs to you.
As I see them like backing up, I take steps forward towards them, like very like like stomp, 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 and as I do that, I'm saying it's very dramatic, like I'm like this, I'm like there, and he says, "Let it be known to your leaders, to those who give you your orders, that if any fall under the unfair treatment that you have shown towards those that have been gifted, the Legion will not show as much mercy
We're the
as we have
Legion
shown
now.
today."
A couple of them do legitimately just drop their weapons and turn tail. The rest of them, like, still clutching, like, are scrambling back because they're just too afraid to show you their back. But if you want to, you can just, for the hell of it, just chase them randomly for a little while, because that seems like something that you might do, and they will not turn to try and fight you off because obviously, just remember, most people, if you stab them a couple of times with a spear or a sword, they're not gonna be okay. You took a couple of hits and you're just like,
It's fine.
Jax
You
doesn't
know.
have internal organs.
No.
He's fine.
You were stabbed
I-
a couple times and didn't even flinch.
Instead of
Yeah.
chasing him, I imagine like as the ones that start to run, start running, Jax
Mhm.
picks up one of the spears. Because he is a warrior. He knows how to use weapons.
He just doesn't need
doesn't
them.
like to.
Yeah.
And he picks one up and he like feels the weight of it, and he's like, and in shock on the weapon, because you can do this with shock.
Yes, you
And
can.
I'm not trying to hit anybody. I just throw it, like aiming at like behind them.
There's another absolutely terrified shriek as the shock just kind of buzzes out directly behind them. They stumble a little bit, fall, get back up, and continue running. They are gone.
And then I make my way inside.
Inside, Kale, you are looking for the panel on the wall or keys. Are you looking for the key?
Yeah, because like the lock looks like it's like a turnkey, right? Not like a hit a panel and it slides open.
There is a mechanical panel that does work it, but there is a keyhole on the panel to say turn a gear inside.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm probably looking for a key then.
Okay. Go ahead and do a search check with your intellect. That is going to be fairly high.
Yeah.
So it is a 5, really. So 15 or better.
It's 15 or better. I'm going to spend effort on that.
Okay.
So that is now a 12 or better.
Okay.
Do not have a reroll. No, that is a 8.
Yeah, so you kind of suspect that one of the hiding guards or one of the guards that has run and is fighting Jax has it on them.
Well, plan B.
Sybil.
Dear, we may need a we don't have a key. We may need your skills.
And you also have an obviously injured crystal person in front of you.
Yeah.
Can I touch you if that's okay? Just your neck. I want to try something.
Just wide-eyed, still staring at you. Have you taken
know this is
anything
weird.
off to show yourself?
No.
He's just staring at you in total fear. He's not trying to defend himself, at least.
I'm really trying not to be scary right now. It's gonna be fine, okay? Just hold still, please. I'm so sorry. And I like a single finger like reach out to like poke at his neck. For hedge magic,
Okay.
because I can mend a broken object. Can we mend his throat?
I'll allow it.
Wouldn't it be cool?
I will allow it. It does not entirely heal him, but it does enough healing, magically speaking, to allow him to recover some of his voice. He coughs more of that kind of crystalline dust out as it happens, trying to clear the obstruction. And then, in a very hoarse voice, thank you, I think.
Yeah.
Who the fuck
Yeah.
are you?
I don't think I am supposed to tell you my name, but we're just gonna get you out of here, okay? We're the good guys? That shouldn't be a question. We are the good guys.
If a crystal face could be skeptical, his crystal face would be skeptical.
I'll call over my shoulders. I'm still searching the wall and go, thank the moles.
And he just kind of groans.
I'm gonna take that as enthusiastic consent. Let's go. And I'm gonna. Can I try and what is holding this gate closed? Is it like I can see a lock that I could in theory shatter?
You see the panel of the wall that has the mechanism with an obvious keyhole.
And Kale is like messing with it, trying to pick it, but like they don't have lockpicks. They just have hands.
Okay.
Your claws aren't quite good enough.
Let's do a player intrusion.
I'm not angry enough to smash it yet.
Okay.
Let's do a player intrusion.
Okay.
Advantageous. Wait, is this advantageous? No, it's
Malfunction,
inexplicably broken. An inactive ruined or presumed destroyed.
Oh, okay.
Which one is better?
Malfunction means that it does something it's not supposed to. Broken means that it breaks. You're not sure if it would break as permanently closed or if it would allow you to just randomly pull the door.
Let's do an advantageous malfunction. A door should remain closed. It is no longer closed.
Okay.
Is the goal.
Yeah, so you do that. Yep, you reach out and you're kind of trying to influence it, and Kale, you can see Sybil trying to concentrate, and like the lock just kind of clicks and grinds, and there's the kind of indication that you can probably just forcefully slide open the door now.
Then I will grab it and just muscle it.
Yeah.
And that's my wiry little tea-shop muscles.
And that's probably around the time that scary muscle man appears.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Definitely some holes. There's some blood.
Are you okay? You're bleeding. We could. That's a later.
Oh, fine. Yeah.
You're on your feet though. That's good. We need to go.
Can you also help him? He's got something weird. Are you okay to?
I walk up to him and I say, "The Legion is here to help."
You cannot be called that.
Is that what
have you been telling people that's our name?
Yes.
It's amazing.
Oh my god. Okay.
We'll worry about that later.
We gotta go.
All right. So yeah.
Can I carry you?
Please don't hurt me. And he kind of stumbles up and is looking at all of you again, covered like fucking bandits, breaking into a guarded facility hidden outside of the city.
Yep.
After a very traumatic magical event happened to this dude.
Yep.
He freaks out, injures some people, damages some property, and then gets full on smash and grabbed.
I've never been on this side of the campaign, you know? I've always been the person in the
In
the
the
cell
cell.
getting picked up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like
Also, there's, like-
just think about it. You
a
guys
woman who walked through the
look
bars,
like a nightmare right now.
especially
Yeah.
Jax,
It's
who's like
so
dripping
fun!
blood.
Yeah, Jax is like dripping
Not all of
blood.
it's mine.
You walked through a solid object and then
I seem to
touched
have a
him
copper
and
dragon on
healed
my
him.
shoulder.
We've got a rat that looks like it should not, a copper dragon. You guys are
Fucking weird.
horrifying to people who have not encountered magic before.
Okay. Then close your eyes. Let's go.
Yeah,
Fine.
so I am just justifying why this dude is still terrified of you. But he
That's fair.
cooperates, he wants out, and he just kind of stumbles but does not willingly accept the help to walk unless you force it on him.
If he's moving slow, I will just
Yeah.
you
And he
know.
will kind of fearfully grunt, but he is holding very, very still and cooperating as much as he can with you guys.
I'm
Never
like,
been
all right,
on
Pico
reverse
Scott,
kidnapped.
let's find the way out.
Yeah.
And we'll go and make a path
Let's
All
go.
right.
into the underground.
So, with that, you guys find one of the hidden passages back towards Deep View. And that is where we will call it for the day, since we have gone over with this little bit of a jailbreak.
Oh, Jax, full on.
Yeah.
Jax!
That's
We did
what I
it.
built to
This is what
do.
we've been waiting for.
Mhm.
Everyone also
Aw.
gets an extra point of XP for
Ooh.
reaching a major story point.
Heck,
Lovely.
Dang,
that is
if only I
enough
didn't.
to buy
Gross.
up and be the next tier. Tier 2.
Yay!
What? How are you that?
You there already?
Remember
I-
the surge. Remember
I
the
got the man-
surge.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
I've still
why I've
got
been
two
trying
to go.
That's why I've been
Yeah,
trying to like
same.
pass off more to you guys because I'm like, y'all, I got so much magic right now.
We're just babies.
Yeah. But yeah, so we'll catch you guys up soon.
It's
But
both
yeah.
like fun and ominous that you say
That's
that.
a threat, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
It just means more intrusions for your characters.
Oh, and
Good.
I don't remember because I did the reroll. You still get to do an intrusion on me at some point.
Yes.
Ooh.
I need to remember to bank that for next time.
How many people did you take out in that fight, Jax?
6
like 4.
or more.
Yeah, like 3 or
Or-
4. Yeah, like 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's
Mm.
yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
ran away because they were too scared.
Good Lord.
We'll
That's why I
discuss
started fighting
that later.
animals.
GMs need to incorporate the runaway more frequently because very few times will someone stay and fight to the death unless they have no choice.
Look,
True.
that's a logic that I've always like. I was playing a monk in a D&D game one time who grew up in the wilderness, not unlike Jax, right? Maybe Jax is just this person who knows he was also blue, but he's an Nazi. But like, I was like his logic was because he would be fine with just like killing people, and the rest of the party were like, no, we just can't kill everybody, and he was like, no, look, animals if they get hurt enough will run away, like they will stop fighting you. So therefore, if they continue to fight, that means they don't care. They're just here to kill you. You know what I mean? So like, I'm gonna get them first.
Yeah. So it's just one of those things of more GMs need to incorporate the concept of run away to live another day, because even animals, even like predators that would be able to kick the shit out of you and
Are like, oh hell no.
if it's too much effort, they're going to find easier prey.
They will stop. Yeah, they're like, nah, this is too much work.
Yeah, this is too much work. This is too much work.
I don't want to get hurt. I'm leaving. Goodbye.
Yeah, I
I'm spending
don't
more energy than I would get back from this. So.
exactly. So yeah, it's one of those things of more GMs need to continue the concept of run away to live another day, which
Also means
a
they're
lot of
witnesses
humans.
to this, which
Yes.
you know will be interesting.
Yes. Jax, at least as far as he is aware, did not murder anyone. One of them laid down to pretend that he was knocked out.
Which is
Like,
fair.
okay, yeah, like stay
He
down.
took a
Okay,
little
yes,
nap.
I'm
It's
staying down.
amazing.
I'm staying down. Yes, no, look.
Gotcha.
Just gonna take a little nap now.
This is why I
Yeah.
got us capes and masks.
Yeah.
We
So-
definitely all didn't say our names during
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
I mean, I didn't. I didn't.
But yeah,
Well, you're the only one.
you just kept
I-
calling us Legion. Legion
Yes.
is after you.
You
Yeah.
can't call. Mm.
It's a cool name.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm the face of it. So in
We'll,
some
we'll discuss. You're not the face. You're a shadow. Anyway.
The shadow monster is the face
The
of Legion.
shadow knows.
Yes. But yeah, so good job. Good job not dying. And Jax honestly
Hell yeah.
would have still been able to, continue fighting because we almost got you to that damage track. For those who are unaware with Cypher, you don't just drop after your first set of points depletes. You go along a damage track. So it takes from one first, and then you are considered like a particular type of hindered. It's on your character sheet. You check it off. That affects what you can do, and you are only actually stopped from moving if that first thing to reach 0 is speed. So you could have still moved around. You wouldn't have been able to spend any might points because you would have haven't had no might left. But
But you
you
can get
still
away.
have other things. Yeah, you can get away. You can still do things, and you
I
are
want
not
everybody to know.
incapacitated until much further along. So you have all of those points to go through before you are incapacitated and or dead.
Jax could have taken another 26 points of damage because I had 1 left in my might, 15 in speed, and
Ridiculous.
then intellect. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Which in my intellect is actually 12, but I used an effort earlier. So
Yeah. So it's just you have a lot more points. You could have taken a lot of damage. It just was not necessary because you were terrifying to these guys.
as it should be.
Understandable.
Yes.
I would
Truly
be terrified.
understandable.
Yes. Alrighty, so with that, thank you everyone who has tuned in. I am Evie, the Disaster GM and Director of Ultra Deco Archives, runner of this fine game of this fine group. Let's go ahead and go in opposite order to our introductions. Sybil, would you like to introduce yourself and anything that
me.
you would like to say?
Gay rights. No, my name's Maggie. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy
My name
Pride.
is Maggie. You can find me on the internet at Thor Magnarok and here, and sometimes on Alina's channel. They'll tell you about that later. Yeah, I'm mostly here and on Twitter. So be gay, do crime.
Mm-hmm.
The end.
I cannot remember the code for our
Oh,
links and whatnot.
Cast.
Either that or we're just
I
not working.
don't
Either that or
remember.
it's just not working. Because Twitch is weird.
Who knows?
Either way. Extell, Jax, would you like to introduce yourself and tell us any announcements that you may have or things that you would like to advertise?
Yo everyone, the name's Extell. You can find me on the interwebs, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Xtrill the King. I'm not on Facebook, so if you see me on Facebook, it's not me. I want you to know. It's true. On Wednesday nights, you can catch me when I storytell a Vampire the Masquerade game called Blood Tax, which just had some really fun stuff with the Inquisition happen. And they're totally One of them is totally not like 2 points of aggravated damage away from torpor, but it's it's totally fine. Everything's okay. There's a lot of other stuff that I have going on that would be a long time to list. So if you catch my Twitter and whatnot, you will see me tweet about all this stuff there as it happens. Yeah, Extra the King, and I love playing Jax. This is amazing. I'm glad I got to finally show off his like punchy skills. Which is like he's been itching for a fight this entire time. So like, he's got it. So he'll be cool for like, a little while.
Most
Good.
likely it will be happening a little bit more frequently now that you guys are possibly going to become wanted criminals.
We
Anyway,
broke the seal.
Yes.
Yeah.
The goal.
Yeah,
At least
like
Jax is
the story point that you got the experience for was getting out of the cresting story. So you have now moved into a different phase or different section of
Oops.
the act. But yeah,
Act
Well,
two.
so,
Look, if it's illegal to be magic, then we're all criminals.
yeah.
So
Alrighty.
it's gonna
Yeah,
happen
but yeah,
eventually.
Crime.
So
Might
Jax
as well earn
will
it.
get more fighties. Jax will get more punchy
Yes.
punches. But yeah, so
yes.
yeah. And seriously, you guys, check out Blood Tax. It's phenomenal.
Very good.
Yes.
The cast is amazing too. If you don't come for me, come for them because they're fantastic. Gosh. But yeah.
All right, and of course, last but not least, our character artist and player of Kale, Alina.
Hey everybody, I'm Alina Pete. I play Kale. We're both they, them. You can find me online at Alina Pete on most social medias or on YouTube and Twitch at Where Geek Comics with an S. Yeah, that's what I do.
Very cool. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are watching on YouTube. And in the description will be links on how to find the various players and the stuff that they do if you are interested. But in the meantime, thank you, everyone. Congratulations to the group for surviving. And we will see you next time.
Happy Pride.
Bye.
Happy
Stay safe out there, y'all.
Be gay, do crime.
Be gay, do crime.